What up, boys? 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 What up, all my boys? Boys, what up, boys? What up, boys? How are all my boys? What up, boys? What you doing? How are you today? Hey! What up, dudes? Turn your freaking top chats to live chats, dude. Bro, I don't feel as coldish as I did yesterday, but I got a fucking headache today, bro. I never get headaches, dude. The fuck? Half of the people at work today were out. Everybody's out. Everybody's getting taken out by this shit. They're spreading the fucking... It's the Hanta, bro. We're all getting the Hochul virus. The Kathy Hochul virus. We're getting the Colonel Kathy Sanders virus. Worse than Hanta virus. Significantly. But, what up, boys? What are we doing? What's the meta? What's going on? What's in the air? Anything good? Probably just allergies. Bro, it looks like it's snowing from all of the, well, they look like dandelions, but I don't know what they are. Some seed pods of some shit flying all over the place. Yeah, I think everybody's sick, dude. Yeah, it's the new the new virus. They're just releasing it into the air through all the spores. You were so sick all week and depressed AF. I finally feel like myself. Let's go, Rach. Rach feels better. That's a win. Yeah, you got a headache too? Yeah, dude. But anyway, it is nice and warm today. Dude, it's the fucking worst though when, like, it's been 60 degrees and now that it's like 90, everyone having a fucking cold, it's so annoying. It's the worst to feel like shit when it's hot out. Skeet skeet in the air. Hell yeah. UV index at 10, what does that mean? They've got the magnifying glass turned up high. You didn't bring your earbuds? No! Alright, here we go. I'm gonna go feed the cats. And blow my frickin' nose. Welcome to the show, boys. Dooba 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 doo. What up, Rin? How you doing? Can't handle the news anymore? Bro, it's bad.
Pull the soul from a face without giving sources away. Bored of the basics, sick of Freemasons covering 4 bases. Forced to love it, so of course I hate it. Force of nature left my corpse on the pavement. Good form, even formal with floral arrangements. Hold up, I'm still chained to the floor of my basement. Killer's my safe word. I was born yesterday into a world that's ancient. Whoever most abrasive is taking the cake. They make you behave and say praise for their bracelet. Word to the ankle monitor, I barely made it 7 whole days with ego and chains, a slave to being celebrated. Of course I'll never make it. I'm a force that's delegated, more safe in a world full of strangers. Now I'll be a good boy after being warned and regulated. Even if the blade is jagged, you better get it straight and better never face it. Kill time bombs when it's minutes away. Taste how the minute made. There is no getaway when every day we left to just dig a grave. It's like center stage is a cage that we just can't escape. When will I break? How am I still awake when they'll do anything to fill a face with pillowcase? Terrorism or heroism when we start murdering billionaires that build the burgers, turn politicians into some build-a-bears. Since Theodore's presidency, they've been all sleeping with Teddy. It's deadly until the American dream is just Freddy. A cheap way to pretend they're eating your head is reheating spaghetti. They all in bed with the horse, but me, I still sleep with machetes. Ain't no keeping it friendly in a feeding frenzy. I'm eating everything after the stomach's been feeling empty. It's in our nature to besiege the enemy. Y'all looking like 100 curves to a sports car. Got me hugging curves like a sports bra. Black hole on a world tour till it's tore off. They fight wars for gold stars and sure shots. The war is on as soon as you hear the Fort Knox. These billionaires don't don't share the same issues. We cry tears in the brain tissues. Wait, let me share my pain with you. Opening scene of Final Destination 2. Log truck about the lane switch you. Holy water in the super soaker. Spray and pray until the spray missed you. Pros at grilling chicken. Let's fill the air with pain. Artist that thinks of a million things to paint. Every time a billionaire complains, but still I wear the
Birds
shame.
are getting crazy,
Mandela
bro.
effect.
That's the brave
Bear the
bird.
blame. You have to have something here to compare to change.
Wing fight, wing fight, wing fight, wing fight. Do the wing fight. Come on, boys, do the wing fight at home. Flap, flap.
Sacred spores, spinning stories sent from stellar skies. Sun speaking sermons, see the signals behind our closed eyes. Silhouettes of serpents, circle secrets in the stone. I'm sifting through the sands of time to set the spirit back to home. I'm sitting here doom scrolling, satellites surveilling sacred scenes. Step inside the stream, see the soul between the screens. Stillness in the syntax, revealing the symmetry and signs. Synesthesia sparkling, system stored beyond the mind. How bizarre. Seeker saga spiraling, something is set to shift. The shadow self surfacing, surfing to find the solar gift. Symbols sing in silence, scribed in statue, sky and skin. Admire your sovereign self, standing where the storm used to spin. We're scripting sacred sciences and summoning the source. Your soul's a simulation set to steer the spiral's course. Fuck all this alliteration, I sound like a soothsaying horse, speaking parcel tongue to idiots, selling snake oil to snuff the hordes. Here, drink this, it'll make you super brave and help you hide your pain. Just a little meth pick me up to soothe Marco's drug addled brain. The kids aren't alright and your job's to keep it that way. And if you're a good little boy, we'll make sure to hit the fucking vein. What's at stake besides Trump steaks? I'm taking tickets and bouncing nitwits. I'm itching to give the Lizzie some stones and some fucking stitches, but I see the apple sitting at the end of the Garden of Eden. It's our consciousness as one while we just sit and breathe in. Whew.
Barely,
Need to
dude.
catch my breath. Hold on. We back at it, boys. Don't give them a moment's rest to catch their breath. We cracking heads like ice and keeping our boots on their necks. Hey, Kathy. Hey, Paul. Do
What?
I have your attention now?
No.
McVeigh's in Plato's cave with Elvis reading Goodnight Moon out loud. Maybe to his clone or nephew, Tyler Hansen, the fittest fed earther. Or maybe Kathy's grandkid, Colton, could be the same fucking person. But what do I know? I'm just a conspiracy theorist, as you'd say. But why does it feel like you want to cover up the connection between your friend Paul Wysopal and Timothy McVeigh, Kathy? Huh? Why you always running offense for Paul Wysopal, girl? We gotta know.
Please, Kathy,
As a
tell us.
grandmother of 2 murdered children, you're really doing a lot of work for Timothy McVeigh. You always say that you saw him die, but I don't know, man.
Scared the birds with the
Feels like you
blowing my
might have
nose.
seen American democracy die and you've said nothing, bro. So, anyway, are you an Eastern Star? We gotta know that too.
What up, what
'Cause,
up?
you know, they're connected to the Freemasons and stuff. That would make a whole lot of sense. All right, but what do I know? This is just a little bit of a locker room talk.
Hello?
Bye.
Not bye. We're here. What up, dudes? How goes it? Hope everybody's doing well. The guitar solo got me. Let's fucking go. Gabriel. It's gonna it's gonna drop down to fucking 60 degrees on Wednesday too. I think Wednesday or Thursday. Dude, they gotta make Memorial Day shitty for sure. And the Long Island Railroad is on strike right now because Kathy Hochul and her crew of mobsters won't pay them, the employees. So everybody's little Memorial Day trip out to Montauk or whatever ain't happening, bitch. Everybody park your ass, stay home. Plus it's going to be 60 degrees, so that's okay. The CIA apparently doesn't want tourism. They don't want anyone making any money. Just them. Through slavery. Fuck this selling goods and you know, doing tourism and making money when we could just make everyone slaves. We'll take everyone's jobs with robots, and then the people who fight back and want to eat after they don't have a job, then we'll just imprison them. Yeah, 90 to 60 is gonna be sick. Yeah, I think it is on Wednesday. Hold on. Yeah, it's 90 today, 90 tomorrow, 90 Wednesday, then 60 Thursday, and for the foreseeable future till next Wednesday. Nice, very cool. But anyway, what up, dudes? We made it. We're here. We're alive. The kitties are all they're doing what I call corpse season, where they just lay on the ground and pretend like they're all dying. They're like, it's so hot. Whoa. Hilarious. But in the winter, they want to lay on heating mats that are turned up to 110 degrees. Once it's warm, though, bro. It's hot. Winky's laying in the windows, like, panting. Like, dude, y'all are so dramatic. This is we rock as hard as we can with no ACs. This summer is going to be my finest work. I can feel it. I'm feeling real obstinate. I ain't putting them motherfuckers in. Ugh. Oil of oregano didn't work, dude. Still sniffling. Well, not really sniffling, just got excess bugs. Pussy farts feels good to have a giant monster dong. Nice, dude. Hell yeah. That's what we love. Alright. What the fuck was this? Trump reacts to Marco Rubio tracksuit going viral.
Rubio in the briefing room the other day, and what did you think?
Are you talking about his outfit?
Yeah, that's it.
I thought he looked very good in the outfit.
Wait, why don't they show the Maduro picture?
I thought he looked very good. I think he's outstanding. I thought he was good.
Dude, this is the best that the New York Post can get online. What the fuck is this?
I mean, I saw every word of it. I thought
Mr. President, back to what you were saying before about the enriched uranium at Isfahan. So what would your logic be in having just a 20-year deal?
That was it? Boring. Snorefest. Oh yeah, wait, what was going on with this Elon Sam Altman?
That's breaking news
case?
for you. Federal jury just reached a verdict in Elon Musk's lawsuit against OpenAI and its boss Sam Altman, rejecting Musk's claim against OpenAI. CBS News senior business and tech correspondent Jolene Kent is here to break it all down. Jolene, I just was on the air this morning in San Francisco telling our viewers that they had started deliberations. This was super fast. So what does this mean for the AI and tech industry?
Well, this was a very fast decision, and what we found here is that this lawsuit has been basically tossed entirely. What we know is that the jury recommended to the judge that it was the case filed by Elon Musk in 2020.
Dude, I feel like they nailed how sniveling Sam Altman looks. He looks like such a loser, always. He always looks like he's about to be like, "Ugh." Look at this. Look at this face. Are these are both him? It looks like it, right? This is definitely him. That's not supposed to be Elon, right?
24 was not viable
He says,
in all claims.
Comedy is illegal.
Because the statute of limitations had expired. Elon Musk had filed this lawsuit.
Oh yeah, it's Sam Altman watching Sam Altman.
Against Sam Altman, Greg Brockman, and the entire OpenAI team in 2024. And according to the jury, they believe there's a 3-year statute of limitations, and they believe that Elon Musk knew about these complaints prior to 2024 minus 3 years is 2021. And they showed that documentation in court via emails.
Dude, I like that she labels everybody. Steve Malo and Musk
text,
Altman
and this is
and
something that they
Judge.
believe that he waited too long to file, and as a result, the case has been tossed. Now, according to Stephen Mallow, he's one of the top lawyers for Elon Musk, saying in court that he was preserving his right to appeal, but hasn't quite made a decision yet on how we want to proceed. So the question here is about what does this mean for the future of AI and who controls it? For a long time, we've been reporting on how this case would possibly change that balance of power. Say if Sam Altman were to emerge victorious in this, or Elon Musk. Now this case has been tossed. So essentially, for the moment, and until we see evidence of an appeal, for example, it's going to remain the same. Nothing is going to change. Elon Musk will remain in control of his attempts at building AI, and Sam Altman will remain in control of OpenAI, and they will continue apace. Nothing will change in terms of the structure of the company when it comes to how it's building your ChatGPT and changing that and innovating on that. So this was a verdict that was unanimous across the board.
Dude. Whatever, dude. Oh, yeah, wait.
Welcome back to TMZ Live.
Luigi had appeared in court today.
Luigi Mangione was back in court today for a big decision from the
Dude, my son be looking good, right? He be looking fly in the court.
judge about the evidence that was collected the day he was arrested at the McDonald's in Pennsylvania. And his attorneys, this was a big deal for them because they were hoping to get a bunch of that evidence thrown out, saying that it was an illegal search of his backpack because they didn't have a search warrant and he wasn't Mirandized or anything like that. Well, the judge did rule in their favor on some of the things, but I gotta say, I think the bigger ones, the prosecutors.
Bro, that ain't even Luigi.
I hate to put it this way, but incompetence.
That ain't even Luigi, dude.
Paid off for prosecutors in the biggest way. Prosecutors. I hate to put it this way, but incompetence paid off for prosecutors in the biggest way possible.
Yeah,
possible,
possibly, because
guys,
so here's what happened. Here's what happened.
This all has to do with the backpack that he had with him when they got
to him. In an Altoona McDonald's.
So he's sitting at the McDonald's, right? And somebody from the restaurant recognizes him. They call the police. The police
with his beanie on, with his fucking COVID mask on, with his jacket zipped up tight. Come on.
Come. They say, "What's your name?" He gives a phone.
Bro, you literally can't convince me that's Luigi. What are you talking about?
Phony name. They realize immediately it's Luigi, and they want to search. The eyebrows were the giveaway. Yeah, and they want to search his backpack.
Where?
What are you looking for more than anything else? What is the item you're
Can't
looking for?
see his eyebrows.
First of all,
no, you want the gun that he allegedly used to shoot and kill Brian Thompson,
Okay,
United Healthcare
so
CEO.
it has a bunch of zippers. Do you look at A, some of the zippers, or B, all of the zippers?
Well, you got to make sure that you're able to use this evidence.
And he had it in his backpack. It's me, Luigi Mangione, the guy who shot the CEO of fucking, what was it? No one even cares. No one even remembers where he's from. I did it, and now I am here at McDonald's hoping to make my escape.
But if
I hope to inspire a lone Utah Mormon to gun down Charlie Kirk in the future.
Prosecution and cops.
You're in for a penny, you're in for a pound. So you're going into the backpack.
So tell them what happened.
So they go into the Altoona restaurant. They move the backpack far enough away from Luigi that he can't grab at.
How the fuck did he get to Altoona? Did he drive to the city?
And that's the exigent circumstances you need to search in the first place. You need to show that he could have grabbed for detonated a bomb, grabbed for a gun,
there was
destroyed
some
evidence.
emergency reason for you to go and
So they shouldn't have done it.
Dude, TMC's so cooked. They're so dumb, bro.
Without getting a warrant, and they didn't get the warrant. So now again, my question.
What do you mean these 2 pedophiles? There's 3 guys on screen.
Question.
Yes.
They did open
There's
the
3
backpack
of
and they
them.
got a couple of items that are, I would argue, non-critical. And the gun is the critical one. So if they're looking in the backpack,
So what the officers said was what they said, and also
CEO Brian Higgins of Big Healthcare.
so their body cam
Wait, that can't actually be the name, right?
video apparently showed that when they went into the backpack, they found a magazine of ammunition.
Which is an indication that a gun might be also in the
And once they found the magazine,
They stopped.
They said, all right, we're going to
But that makes no sense.
hold off.
Why didn't they, if that's what they were doing, why did they look at all and just not take them the backpack?
I used to buy whippets in Altoona. Dude, that's the only thing worth doing in Altoona.
To the police station, which they ended up doing, getting the search warrant and then looking at everything.
They did take the backpack to the station.
But why look at all if they're conscious that they need a warrant? Why look at all and not just take the whole thing to the police station and then get a warrant and then look at everything? Why look at some of it?
I think they were already in the backpack and they were at that point searching for some of that.
Luigi he's like, dude, he's like waiting for his moment. He's like, here we go. All right, begin scene. He's like, I've been waiting for you boys for hours.
They find the magazine, they find a computer chip, they find the passport and so forth.
Let me just lay this out. Your argument is that it's incompetence that the officers did not fully search the bag right there in the McDonald's.
Well, they were looking for. Well,
but as it turns out,
dude, free Luigi. If any jury finds Luigi fucking guilty, we're gonna destroy that jury. They're done. They're cooked.
It turns out that was the
smartest
good
thing
thing they
ever.
did that because all the things that when they got back to the police station and they searched it, then they did find the gun. They found the notebook with his manifesto about why he was going after the healthcare system.
And both of those things are
all
admissible.
those things are admissible because they did it. The search back at the police station.
That's right. So had they looked at McDonald's and had they found the manifesto and the gun, there'd be a problem with this case.
It would be a big problem. If that gets suppressed, that's the whole ball of wax.
So now it's just, like we said, the magazine.
The magazine, the computer chip, his wallet, a passport, and the...
That's
not
what's
critical
excluded.
stuff.
And if they can tie the bullet to the gun...
And the gun was loaded as well. So they have an ammo magazine, but they also have a loaded weapon that they found.
So, again, hats off.
I think there's
free our boy, dude.
Like never a dull moment with this case, and like I think so many of us are so invested because he's like a modern day Robin Hood to so many people, but you know, like going after corrupt systems in power. And if that manifesto really is his, I do.
Luigi definitely is my favorite Fed, dude.
I think it proves that he did it. But I'm all for them using, you know, the legal system to get him a lesser sentence. And while I want to make it abundantly clear that I don't condone murder, I just think his story and, you know, his intentions pull on so many of our heartstrings. Because have you guys seen the letters that people have been writing to him?
Yeah.
And like, you know, I don't know what this says about me, but I do think it is really sweet that he's been responding.
Well.
Yeah, he has been responding.
Harvey's like, we've got to smear him though. Stop saying he's cute and sweet.
And
look at Harvey's so disappointed. He's like, who the fuck vetted this bitch?
It's loads and loads.
Yeah, Harvey's pissed.
Of fan mail, essentially, at prison. And some of it he is responding to, I know what you're going to say. I agree.
Welcome to America.
Yeah.
Yeah, welcome to the United States of Bibi Netanyahu, bitch. Woo! Bro, tell me we didn't make this happen. This is from 3 days ago. Watch this shit.
In the hills of Tunkhannock, Pennsylvania, a familiar...
Yo, Pennsylvania gets everything. A fleeing Luigi Mangione, a fucking throwback Pizza Hut.
Your red roof catches the eye. Inside, the vinyl booths, Tiffany-style lamps, and yes, the salad bar you may remember.
It ain't right. It's not dark enough, dude.
Remember from
I can tell they don't have the smell right.
Decades ago.
I mean, it's amazing the comments we have about They have the red cups. Yes, we do.
Tim Sparks.
Bro, tell me we didn't make this happen.
Sparks got his start working at a Pizza Hut that looked like this. He's now president of Dayland Corporation, which owns this franchise and more than 80 others around the country. They've redecorated many restaurants to rewind the clock.
It looks exactly like the one that I remember from when I was a kid.
Yeah, that's what we were after.
Some Pizza Hut classics are now top-performing locations. Customers show up for a piece of their childhood.
It just brings back memories.
To share with their own kids.
When you finally find something that tastes how you genuinely...
All the fucking, the chandelier things, they all look plastic, though.
You only remember it tasting. Like, you can't let it go.
People come from 2 and 3 hours away, and I'm not making that up.
More restaurants are serving up nostalgia. Franchises like Burger King and KFC returned to old-school logos and packaging in recent years. At Pizza Hut, they even brought back Pac-Man. But for Sparks, this is much more than a game. It's a mission to rebuild places where families can connect.
If we can get them in here as a family, they do tend to put their phones down and actually have conversations and speak with each other. I'm not going to tell you I know how to fix the world, but I do think that family is a good place to start.
He says we're gonna fix American families at this this Pizza Hut classic, bitch.
Hopes to renovate.
Hey, are the prices classic? Nope. Bet it's a premium. I bet they're like, oh, actually, the Pizza Hut classics is 20% upcharge.
More of his restaurants.
Yeah, nostalgia is a hell of a drug. Exactly.
So as long as he can find enough of those lamps.
They're hard to get?
Yeah, they're almost impossible to get.
A familiar taste.
Well, cheers.
Cheers, bro.
Bringing people together.
Just like I remember it.
Again, Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, Tunkhannock, Pennsylvania.
Oh, yeah, wait, what the fuck was going on?
We are now feeling the full effect of this Long Island Railroad strike. This is the first day impacting major commutes. Thousands of riders.
Well, hold on. Well, there was a shooting, right, at a Islamic center? What the fuck's going on there? How are they going to blame that on Iran?
To take alternate modes of transportation, and still no sign of an agreement. They have team coverage of the strike. Paisley Chang's on Long Island, where commuters lined up for buses.
Dude, my favorite thing about social media and stuff is watching all these cuck influencers who are literally going, yo, there's two guys who work for the Long Island Railroad who got $100,000 in overtime last year. All the prices are going up if they get a raise. Ooh. Like, dude, fight with the CEO. What are you talking about? I'm so sick of this shit. All the CEOs, all these corporations, they need to eat the fucking... They have so much profit, it's insane, bro. And they always threaten us. Oh, if we have to give them higher raises or higher wages, we're definitely going to raise the prices. Everything is so fucking high already, they should be paying for this shit. All these class traders on fucking Instagram and TikTok, bro.
This is to get to work and school. Romney Smith's Jamaica Station, where for some the
Yeah, the food's still gonna be slop. You're gonna go to that fucking Pizza Hut, and no matter what, it's still gonna be a disappointment. It's like the facsimile of what it used to be. It's better in our memories, boys.
Subway has been the only way to get into the city. And Adele Caballero is keeping an eye on the rails. Let's start, though, at MTA headquarters in Lower Manhattan with News 4's Andrew Siff and the very latest.
Yeah, exactly. If we tax billionaires like China or we kill them all, we could all be millionaires. Like the essentially millionaires for sure. Money ain't gonna exist, but we could all live like fucking kings, essentially, yes. Whatever the Long Island Railroad people make is what minimum wage should be. Yeah, dude.
Now, Andrew.
Yeah, Michael, talks have been underway for about 3.5 hours this morning. They started at 7:30 a.m. and striking workers have been out on the picket lines behind me here, out in front of MTA headquarters, and also at locations like Penn Station. Those who walked off the job say it's about simple economics and keeping up with the cost of living. As many New Yorkers have heard by now, the sticking point is what percentage raise these 3,500 engineers would get in the 4th year year of a new contract. The MTA says there has been progress as the two sides try and hammer out a deal today.
As I'm willing to stay out here for the rest of the year. If that's what it takes, because our back's against the wall. It's been multiple years since we've been out of contract, and for us, this is a fight for survival. So if we have to stay out here to the end of the year, then we're ready to do so.
There is Let's fucking go, dude. They said we'll do the whole summer, bitch. No one's going to Long Island, and no one from Long Island's coming to the fucking city, dude. Honestly, I hope this stays forever. Dude, people were goofing on me because I made that video about Paul living right next to Stephen Paddock, and I kept putting the distances all in bike rides. So I was like, Paul moved from Tampa to Mesquite, Nevada, which is a 9-day bike ride. And everyone's like, bro, why are you measuring distances in bike ride? Duh, dude. How else are you going to get anywhere in the next year? There's no more gas for your car. There's no more trains. You're not going to Long Island. You're fucking pedaling, bitch. Get to pedaling. Everyone get your fucking bike tires pumped up, because that's the only option. That's all you got.
For optimism, we had productive negotiations yesterday. We're back at the table today at 7:30, and we're hoping that we can get it over the finish line.
Now, it seems like the two sides are relatively close. Again, the union has asked for 5% in that fourth year. The MTA had proposed 3%. You might think, well, what about a 4% compromise right in the middle? From what we've been told, every time the MTA proposes something in that ballpark, the union has said no. The other thing we've heard from sources close to the negotiations is that the talks keep breaking down to go into caucuses, and that's what's happening right now. But again,
they're doing caucuses or caucuses? What, where they're touching each other's cocks?
Bargaining
it's like a porpoise made out of cocks.
Is underway since about 7:30 a.m.
I guess a dolphin is kind of just a big old cock a little bit.
This morning, we will keep you posted. We're live outside of MTA headquarters in Lower Manhattan. Andrew Siff, News 4 New York.
All right, the watch is on there, Andrew. Thank you very much for that. Let's go to News 4's Romney Smith. Romney's live at the Long Island Railroad Station, Jamaica. Union workers are protesting there right now. They're demonstrating. Commuters were rerouted to catch subway trains there to get into the city. Part two of their commute, you might say, Romney.
That's absolutely right. So right now, the rail workers who you see protesting behind me right now, they understand the impact they're having, and they say that they will be here day after day until a fair agreement is reached. But we also know that the commuters are feeling the impact, too. This morning, we know that the LIRR came to a screeching halt over the weekend, and the strike continues right now. There are upwards of 300,000 daily commuters on Long Island that had to get to work another way or simply stay home, while many use information directly from the MTA about the shuttle buses to help them get to their destinations. The concern right now for people who we spoke with is about returning home, knowing that the buses can't accommodate all the people who are trying to get to New York City and then get back home. In fact, one woman I spoke with relied on a friend to get dropped off here at Jamaica Station and is now waiting on another friend to take her to work. She then said, while this may work for a day or two, it's really not sustainable long term. Her main concern now is getting to the shuttle bus to go home.
Kathy Hochul told everyone stay home, work from home on Monday. Just tell your boss that you're working from home, because Kathy Hochul said.
It's affecting a lot of people going and coming. Even they are saying that the buses is from 3 to 7. So everybody that's going to manage to be on that bus than the way we are on the train. So like right now, for me, I'm waiting for somebody, a relative, to pick me up to get to work.
Now, the one thing that everyone has agreed to today, whether it's a commuter or one of the rail workers behind us, they want the strike over now. We'll have to see what happens, though. We are live at Jamaica Station in Queens. Romney Smith, News 4 New York. Back to you.
Romney, thank you so much. So the riders, what they did is add a bunch of time to their commute this morning, coming in from Long Island. The last shuttle bus to the city, that was at 9, and now that's until the evening rush.
There's only... The last shuttle bus to the city is at 9 a.m. That's when they stop going into the city. Amazing.
News 4's Paisley Chang live in Mineola with how...
That'll definitely... that's awesome, dude.
Oh, that's going. You were there, Paisley, so people just try to guesstimate how much time they needed, right, to make this commute.
Yeah,
Michael, it was really, a brave new world, as they say. They came here hours before they actually had to get to work because they didn't know how long it would take. We do have some new numbers, though, from the MTA. They said that the number of people that took advantage of these free shuttle buses was 259 passengers. That's spread across 131 buses. It works out to about 16 people per bus, so no overcrowding on this LIRR shuttle bus. It might have taken a lot longer for them to get here, though. Now, commuters boarded free MTA shuttle buses early this morning, many arriving at Mineola hours before they had to be at work. Many nervous that it would take them a long time because, remember, this bus goes to the A train, and then they have to take the A train to wherever they have to go next. In one cases, we followed up with some of the riders that we spoke to this morning. One said it took 62 minutes to get from Mineola to Howard Beach. Once he got on the A train, it took less than an hour to get to Penn Station. That's about 2 hours. And then another rider said it took her almost 3 hours to get from Mineola to New York Presbyterian. And this was, when she left, it was like 5:15 in the morning. We spoke to all of them.
Bro, this shit's crazy.
And here's what they told us.
So many
commuting this long.
People rely on the Long Island Railroad, so obviously it's making a big statement. I was kind of hoping they'd come to an agreement before today.
We have to do what we have to do. I hope they will get to a solution. I understand the workers. I understand also MTA. So hopefully they will sit and talk and find a solution, because at the end of the day, it is the consumer.
Everyone should be like Kathy Hochul, pay them. Shut the fuck up, pay them. Pay them, pay them. Shut up.
Who pays, and it's really tough.
What is somebody's doing something.
You wanted to jump on that train, right?
That was my train, yep. It's on its way to where I need to go.
Yeah, she wasn't getting on that train. It was a little surreal that that train passed by while we were interviewing her about a transit strike. The MTA said on their website that they are going to be refunding monthly customers with any business day without service that the LIRR does not run. Now, remember, this is just half of the commute. People have to come home. That's going to start between 3 and 7 p.m. today. They'll be able to board buses at the subway stops that they got on earlier this morning, and they'll take those buses back here to Mineola, Ronkonkoma, Huntington, wherever it was that they took that shuttle bus from. So we're going to have to see exactly how that's going to pan out. We're live from Mineola tonight. Paisley Cheng, News 4 New York.
All right, Paisley, thank you so much. Let's give you.
Did Sherlock, did you send this yesterday? I didn't get to it. Or did Black Death? I forget. Yo, bro, taking a selfie? Nice.
Why are you holding the camera? For real, bro. Come on, boy.
Oh.
He wanted to take a selfie.
He's recharging.
Yes.
Yeah. Kidders are the best.
Boy.
Oh, bro.
Look at him. Oh, cuties. Wanna have like baby? I like a baby.
Also, if you want to support the channel, guys, you can do that via Buy Me a Coffee. Link in the description. Thank you in advance.
She's purring her freaking ass off. What do you want, boo-boo? Bro, check this video out of Kiddo. I caught his ass in 4K.
This boy has his frickin' chicken legs back. Oh my god. Look at him. He's got his little chicken legs back.
Look at him.
Oh, this thing is ruining it. Incredible. What a specimen. Oh, I'm sorry.
Look at him.
This boy has his frickin' chicken legs back. Oh my god. Look at him. He's got.
Look at those things. Look at his little beansters. Yeah, kiddo got busted, dude. This boy lounges like he bought the place. He's so cute. Oh, let's check in on the latest Tyler.
Isn't what you think. Not at all. It's not worshiping Satan or the devil. It's one.
Dude, Tyler's about to do a... Actually, guys, Satanism and worshiping Lucifer is pretty tight.
Simple.
He said, I'm a 32nd degree Mormon, and I found out at the end of the rainbow, Jesus is actually a lizard and God is the devil, okay, guys? But it's in a cool way.
Phrase. And it goes all the way back to the beginning, to the garden. And ye shall be as gods. Eve was tempted with this, but she wasn't the only one tempted. And it's the whole reason that the angels rebelled, and a third of them fell to earth because they were prideful and they wanted to be worshipped as gods. You see, when humans...
And we're looking at one of them, boys, aren't we? One of them's right there. I see a fucking fallen angel, prideful fallen angel. I'm looking at him.
were created,
Yeah, Tyler has the Wysopal mush mouth.
angels were commanded to show reverence to them, and they didn't want to. They wanted the humans to worship them, and they rebelled. It was the whole reason for the war in heaven, and well, a third of them were cast down here. A third. And well, just because they lost the war in heaven...
Tyler knows a lot about them, right?
...were cast down to earth, doesn't mean they gave up on the ye shall be as gods. And they've had thousands of years to perfect this, where they used to force it and force people to literally worship them as Greek gods and Roman gods and pharaohs and deities. They've gotten smart. They don't force it. They tricked us into willfully worshiping them. And if you don't think we as a society worship these stars, well, you might want to rethink that. You might want to really rethink that. You might want to really rethink that. There's a girl seeing Taylor Swift for the first time, and I guarantee you she's not the first to respond like this. Like I said, when you're fallen angels and you've been here for thousands of years, you get smart. You don't force it. You trick the people into making ye as gods. If you haven't seen any of my videos, you're thinking this is just crazy. Yeah, they worshipped pharaohs back in the day, but today stars and musicians and athletes, they're much different. They're not fallen angels. Well, have you ever seen this pharaoh? That's Pharaoh Akhenaten, who was around 3,000 years ago, and well...
He's matching buried to a fucking sarcophagus. Let's go, dude. Bro, Tyler's creativity never ceases to amaze me. Honestly, though, I believe this. I like this one. This is true and good.
That's Barack Obama, a president.
Yep, everything matches perfectly, dude. Fuck. They do got the Wysopal ears. This pharaoh does.
Who is worshipped. Oh, and speaking of presidents, have you ever seen how...
I'm here early enough for Fed Earther. Yeah, dude, lucky day.
Every single president that has ever existed looks exactly like people of today. That's George and Martha Washington, and that's Glenn Close and Glenn Close's husband.
Husband. This is awesome, man.
David Shaw. And here are 20 other presidents that look exactly like people.
I do fuck with Jeffrey Epstein being Thomas Jefferson, though.
Of today.
Or Andrew Jackson, sorry.
There's your guy, Abad, Don, and Patton. General Patton. Well, he's not a president,
Don
but
Patton.
Harry Truman sure was, and that's the guy from Truman Show. And Harrison Ford and President Harrison, Teddy Roosevelt, and Robin Williams, who...
Bro, what if I actually gave Tyler psychosis from making him do these face matching videos? He really took his assignment and ran with it.
Who played Teddy Roosevelt in the movie. Oh, and remember how I said it's a third of them that are down here? Well, yeah, they want to make heaven on earth because they loved heaven and they can't go back up there. And you want to see something interesting? Remember, a third is 0.333. And well, this guy, his name is Tanner Stewart. That's an interesting hand symbol there. It kind of looks like the Freemason one. You know, the Freemason one that has 33 degrees. Oh, and his name, it's the Flat Earth Millionaire. Just happens to go by Flat Earth Millionaire 333. Oh, and he follows 333 people. Must be a coincidence. Well, remember, they want to be as gods, and they also want to make heaven on earth because they're mad at God because they're not allowed back up there. And, well, you should look at what he did. It's quite interesting.
May 16, 2017, I intend to bring forth heaven on earth for the benefit of all. Signed today.
Oh, you started watching The Boys? Dude, I just have the finale, I think, is left. I think they're about to crash the plane, bro. The last half of the last season, man, is a stinker. I don't get it. All these shows go super low budge for the last season. Sorry, that's the opposite of what you're supposed to be doing. Everything's low budge, everything's fucking lame. Nothing's really happening. I'm getting fucking pissed off. I don't know how I mean, they can't. There's not going to be a satisfying conclusion in the hour that they have left. It's crazy. But no, I mean, it's worth it to watch for the first 3 seasons for sure.
Tanner.
But yeah, don't get your hopes up for them landing the plane. They're about to crash the plane.
Stewart.
And what are you going to do now? What are you going to do, Tanner?
5.
What are you going to do, Tyler?
He wants to bring heaven
2017.
on earth. I wonder why. Maybe because he's
blood.
not allowed back up there.
My blood.
Smearing blood on it. How interesting.
This is some Tyler coded shit, bro.
Over my intent.
My anus is bleeding. My anus is bleeding.
You don't need much.
Cool.
Our blood is very, very powerful.
Yeah, Kimiko's fucking talking this season is off-putting. It's not even just what she's saying. It also feels like it's all like ADR'd. Like all of her lines are like poorly re-recorded for some reason. Or it's almost like they had someone else. Yeah, like it's someone else's voice on her, like covering up her real voice. That's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like fake. My spoon is too big.
It's the power of our blood.
Like I said, Satanism isn't what you think. It's ye shall be as gods. And like Gadriel in the Garden of Eden tried to convince
Tyler knows too much about this.
That Eve could be as gods. Well, these fallen angels don't really want us to be as gods. They just want to rule over us. And they trick people with Satanism and New Ageism. Oh, you think New Ageism isn't Satanism? That's interesting because New Ageism is the same thing. It's just...
Ooh, Tyler also just said the fallen angels want to make heaven on earth in spite of God, implying that making heaven on earth is a bad thing, and contradicting his main point, that the fallen angels are evil. Yeah. Because Tyler is a demon, and he wants hell to reign upon the earth.
Just repackaged in
It's how he feeds.
Nice little neat bow. It's ye shall be as gods. Oh, and it was popularized by 32 degree, not 33 yet. She didn't quite make it. Helena Blavatsky. Funny how she's a Freemason, and funny how I showed you that all the presidents look like someone of today. And well, one of my subscribers,
Helena Blavatsky is Greta Thunberg, the Antichrist. I am a banana.
Notice something. Do you know who that young lady is? How about now? You reckon?
Dude, it's Greta, bro. Tell me Tyler and fucking Peter Thiel don't have late night conversations. They be late night FaceTiming, bro. Dude, Tyler might be one of Peter Thiel's blood boys. That would make sense, honestly. A lot of sense.
As in her a little more now, you know, Greta Thunberg. They're shape-shifting, age-reducing, getting older, younger, fallen angels, and they're here to all be worshipped by us humans. You know, I've done a video on a little something called The Secret.
Bro, this is a funny one. Greta Thunberg is Helena Blavatsky. I love this, actually. Yeah. All right, we're going to back this one. I endorse this theory.
Covenant, and it talks all about the fallen angels' plan to deceive us and keep us in slavery. And there's an interesting part of it that I can't help but repeating over and over in my mind, and it says, if they ever find out that together they can vanquish us, well, it's time to get together, my friends, and vanquish them and take our power back.
We're going to
because they've been
vanquish
ruling
you, Tyler.
and enslaving us for millennia. They always tell us, you just got to be paying attention. They always tell us, you just got to be paying attention. How many was it again that fell?
He's doing butthole eyes.
Because Lucifer convinced them, ye shall be as gods. Oh, 33. But of course, all this for entertainment purposes. I'm sure Satanism is just a made-up thing of people worshiping a guy in a red costume with horns.
Santa
It's not
Claus?
all, ye shall be as gods. One day these angels are going to be judged. And I have a feeling I'm going to have a front row seat. Entertainment only, though.
And Tyler's beard is a Snapchat filter. I believe that, bro. Greta Thunberg looks more like the granddaughter of Lenin. I believe that, too. Peter's little balcony boys. Tyler is a lovable dope. How is space cold if it's closer to the sun, though? I think because there's nothing there to heat up. You know what I mean? There's nothing you can warm up. It's just ether, supposedly. Well, they say vacuum. I don't know about that. Okay, so wait. This thing happened at the Islamic Center that the hijackers supposedly were attached to? The ones who didn't do 9/11?
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, we are continuing to follow breaking news after a deadly shooting involving 3 victims.
Well, Scandal Bag says, I'm getting not so good vibes from Tyler. Yeah. Tyler's whole bit is conspiracy eye for the Christian guy. Fuck yeah, dude. Wait, Scandal Bags, do you not know that Tyler is one of the enemies of the show? Yeah, he's a goof. He's a big clown. He's here to discredit anyone who talks about cool shit. And apparently just bully smaller creators for no fucking reason.
At the Islamic Center of San...
Wait, Tomi, are you really in Moscow? Bro, anytime I listen to like any music or anything on stream, I usually get, like, I can't monetize like basically any of my streams, which I just turn it off anyway at this point. But when I listen to any music basically whatsoever, I'll get an email saying that I can't monetize my stream, which is like par for the course, or I'll get blocked. And whenever it's blocked, it's either like blocked in America, which is a big problem, but I get blocked all the time in Russia and Belarus. I think for music, copyright isn't allowed in Russia or whatever the fuck. And every time I'm like, no one from Russia's ever seen this show. That's fine. So wait, if you're really in Moscow, you might be our first. Bro. Oh, man. So I might have to cut those out in the future so that you can see the show. That's awesome. Hell yeah. All right. How'd you find us? Instagram or something? That's cool. Welcome.
San Diego, that is where the first crime scene took place, but that is only one of the 3 crime scenes.
Okay, we've just gotten the news conference.
If it's blocked in Russia, then why do I get notifications saying that it's going to be blocked in Russia? I'm pretty sure Russia would pay. Dude, Russia has never reached out to pay me. No, dude, Russia pays for Tim Pool. That's like part of how I know that like all of these countries actually just work together. Like they're all just conservative, like, you know, super far right New World Order countries that are all co-opted by these weird Nazi families. These weird oligarch families that are all somehow tied to the fucking Rothschilds. Every country is like this. But yeah, anyway, I'm also in Russia, Aunt Deb. But I get notifications that say that it'll be blocked in Russia, so that means that someone in Russia's got to be trying to watch it. Or like you got to be able to watch it there. Oh, you think Tim Dillon could be Russia? Yeah, but Tim Dillon is more the like Russia speed. I feel like Nick Fuentes is, you know, and it's all a game. Like they're all playing together. Like the Israeli intelligence is all friends with the Russian intelligence. They're all friends with the CIA. Every state is its own company. And that's kind of how the countries are. They're all just little companies doing corporate espionage on each other and just playing the good old game. They say, the only rule is that the peasants don't get to know that we're playing the game. Which is us fucking with their lives. That's the game. The game is doing whatever we want to the peasants.
Complete from the chief of police. Let's go through what he told us. As you can see on your screen, we've got 3 different crime scenes here that police had to track down. So let's go through this with you. The call came in around 11:45 today. The chief says within 4 minutes, officers arrived at the Islamic Center that's just south of Balboa Park, just to the west of the 805. When the police got there, they saw 3 dead adults. 3.
Yeah, I think everyone is backdoor fucking for sure.
Victims out front. There's a school just to the right of the Islamic Center. So, of course, they are immediately deploy into an active shooter situation. Within that time frame of them just getting to the scene, there's another call just south of the Islamic Center. Shots fired at a landscaper. That landscaper is not hit, but
what the fuck did the landscaper do, bro?
Stoughton police make their way there. A few minutes later, they get word that there's a car in the middle of the street. You see suspects found dead. 2 men, we'll call them, 17 and 19 years old. Police found them in the car in the middle of the street with self-inflicted gunshot wounds. They are dead.
Who believe in Tartaria? Tommy? Tommy, do you believe in Tartaria? Or do you know about Tartaria?
And that was on Hatton. And so Chief Wall, when he was talking in the
Yeah, exactly. This is why Paul hasn't been texting back. He's been planting this false flag.
Press conference, he said the circumstances, the details linking.
Yeah, why'd they shoot at Jesus, bro? That's not cool.
These 3 scenes altogether will be out, and they will tell us more in the coming days as they continue to piece all of the information together. Right now, we still don't know a lot of things, but what we do know, and the most important information we can give you, is that all the children who were currently in school at the Islamic Center are okay. All of the teachers also made it.
Good to know. Kathy Sanders didn't get them, too. She just got her grandchildren
out safely. So that is the best news we can give you as the community and as parents ourselves. That is a sigh of relief right now, but we still have a lot of information we don't know. We don't know if the suspects actually made it into the building, why they would shoot at a landscaper, where they were headed, if this was...
Bro, that plane was a paid agitator.
Still have a lot of information we don't know. We don't know if the suspects actually made it
Crisis actor
into the
plane.
building,
Watch
why
this.
they would shoot at a landscaper, where they were headed, if this was always the plan. We do know this all came to an end on Hatton as the two had self-inflicted gunshot wounds.
Okay, this is our view from the...
Wait, so it was 2 people? And they blasted themselves at the end of it?
Chopper 8 is over the scene.
Who is it?
Right now.
Bro, who do you guys think it's gonna be? Why would they do it at an Islamic center? Unless crazy idea. What if this one's real? Who knows? No, none of these are ever real. Well, we'll see. Who do we think the perpetrators are? Rednecks? Where is this? San Diego?
Now, Balboa Avenue has been
San
closed
Diego.
for several hours now, and
Damn, bro, they must have just got their side or their crosswalks painted. Those are fresh.
this is, of course, entering into a busy business district.
Bisney.
But the street's still closed, and our chopper was right over.
Yeah, I bet I wouldn't doubt if this was one of the real ones. Bunch of right wingers. I'm surprised they would kill themselves though. That makes me think MK Ultra. We'll see though.
The reunification center. So right now, parents.
Why kill themselves? Be proud of your white supremacy.
That were with Al Rashad School, that's part of the Islamic Center. They're waiting to be reunited with their children who were all evacuated, all safe. And then right across the street from the
it's gonna be a 3 first name trans Mexican guy. Well, not guy, sorry. They, them.
Islamic Center was another charter school, the Chabad school. Those families also waiting in that reunification center. This looks like news crews and, of course, neighbors are out talking. Now, finally, we've been asking about the shelter in place that was ordered for the immediate neighborhood. And when you see the 3 crime scenes, you can
I bet it's right wingers wearing Free Luigi shirts.
understand why the police did not want people going outside.
Yeah, just confusing the narrative even more.
And the thing here is the public's confused and obviously has a lot of empathy around that. But if you're not watching the news and watching minute by minute, you may be just pulling up at your house as you would on a Monday, and you won't be able to get through your street. So please have empathy. Please understand this is a horrific situation.
Why aren't they immediately releasing who did this?
And it's blocks long. So your street may be blocked off. We haven't gotten all of that information yet, but as you can see here, this is all that's been going on. This is the timeline. So they're asking you to avoid Balboa Avenue, and that is right on both sides of the 805 freeway. We've got north and southbound ramps on the 805 blocked off, the off ramps. So just avoid that area. If you need to try to get on your street, Claremont Mesa, we believe is open. That is just north of Balboa Avenue, but Hatton, Serrano, most likely closed right now, as well as they continue to investigate those other 2 crime scenes.
The public has been advised to shelter in place. The shelter in place has been lifted, but they're asking you to avoid the area. Don't go there. And you would be wise to stay away because there are lots of streets, as Stephanie just said, closed. And as we look above, so the Islamic Center is kind of in the top half of your screen. You can see the big white building with the dome. There to the right of it, that is the Al Rashad School.
Yo, they got fucking hoops back here? God damn.
The school where we saw officers stringing out students, holding their hand, taking them to safety, getting them out. Again, we don't know, did the shooters ever make it into the school? Did they ever try to get into the school? We don't know that. We only know that the 3 adults were killed, found dead outside of the Islamic Center. And then, of course, they made their way south when police ended up finding them several blocks away dead.
And they did confirm that this is being investigated as a hate crime, but who were the targets? Were the children the targets? Were some of the faculty inside the Islamic Center the target?
Bro, somehow this is going to be anti-Semitic. Watch.
Of this heinous crime. It's just awful to think about this. You know, Anna, you think about our ages and when we were growing up as children, these were kindergarten.
How can they make this anti-Semitic?
First, second, third graders, very, very young children. We both have young children, and it breaks your heart. You know, when we were growing up, we had tornado drills, hurricane active drills, things like that. We did not have active shooter drills. So to watch children hold hands and know what to do when there's an active shooter, it just is so upsetting to watch any video, especially live, and then you watch these parents, and again, we do want to say that all of the kids are okay, but every single time we hear about this, not only in our community, but across the country, and
the
you
kids
see
are
these
all
parents
right,
and
boys.
the looks on their faces, and your heart just breaks. It breaks our hearts to have to give you this information, but we want to keep everybody and the most amount of people as safe as possible, and we are giving you this information once it's confirmed by us, minute by minute, once we get it from authorities and it's
What is the shots fired at landscaper shit? Why?
confirmed by them.
And again,
The moon's weird tonight? What, the way it looks?
all the children, all the teachers at the Islamic school, at the Al Rashad school, they are safe. They were evacuated. So we've got at least 5 people are dead. That's 3 victims, 3 adults out in front of the Islamic Center. And then the 2 suspected shooters, they were also found dead, the police chief says, from self-inflicted gunshot wounds. Okay, so let's try to ascertain what's happening here. This is above the reunification center, as where Chopper 8, you can see people running up and hugging each other. Of course, any community, and especially within a religious, spiritual community, I grew up a Southern Baptist pastor's daughter, so your church community is your family, very tight, and so this is the reunification center. This is where people are walking up and seeing their children, seeing the members of their church community, their school community, and so I'm sure a lot of hugs. We know frayed nerves, a lot high anxiety here, and I do feel like I'm seeing some children walking around. I see some backpacks. Those look familiar.
As we mentioned earlier, there was a nearby charter school who was not involved. It's not one of the scenes. There
Look
were
at how
no
great
active
this
shooters
5G
there
is.
at all, but as sort of a ripple effect, because you never know when it stops. You know, is it 2 people here shooting at people? Were they involved in a pack? Right now, there's no continued threat to the public. That is what the chief, Scott Wall, confirmed. However, parents, they don't know, you know,
This
they
is,
don't, and we feel for them.
anti-Semitic.
So as a precaution, the charter school close by the Islamic Center also let their children out early, and the reunification area is in the same spot on Hathaway Street. So that's 4125 Hathaway. That's where our Steve Price is reporting live. We also have Tori Apodaca. They've pushed her back in the hours since this has happened, as well as other media, to secure the area. A lot of the police presence has left the scene since they have neutralized this situation. This is well over an hour ago. Tori Apodaca is still there trying to speak with people who may have heard anything, but we also have Shannon Handy on scene, and she is waiting for the next press conference to happen within the next hour or so.
All right, let's take a look here, guys, San Diego community. Here's our little kids that had to be evacuated from their schools today because of an active shooter. Again, there were 2 schools that they've had to evacuate because the Islamic Center school and then the charter school across the street that did not have an active shooter at the charter school across the street, but out of an abundance of caution, they've gotten these children safe and secure. There's their parents waiting to be reunited with them. Again, there's dozens of kids standing there that have had to be pulled out of school for this. I do want to tell you, it's 2:41. If you're having to get ready to leave the house and you want to keep this information, keep it going, you can keep streaming on CBS 8. You can download the CBS 8 app on your phone. Before I got on the air, Netta and Eric were out here in the studio, and I was watching the whole thing right from my phone. I knew exactly what was going on. So you can keep doing that. Go to CBS 8. Get it on from the App Store. It's free. Or if you are headed somewhere into your house, you can, if you've got a Roku or Amazon Fire Stick, you can download the CBS 8 app on your TV and watch it. We're going to keep streaming all afternoon. You can watch it for free. And right now here we've got these little children.
Dude,
I cannot imagine
curl.
my 7-year-old having to
look like James Charles up in this.
Can you imagine how scary this is?
I mean, it just breaks your heart. These sweet kids, and they're they're about 3 feet tall in these oversized backpacks. It's this.
Bro, this chopper's feed is ass, booty cheeks.
Adorable, innocent thing to look at these, and the bubblegum pinks on the little girls and the baby blues on the boys, and they're probably confused. You don't know how much the school's telling them. But I mentioned this earlier, and I do want to reassure parents. A lot of times when we have shooting incidents involving a school, especially with young children, they provide counselors the next day for anyone who may need some help. And of course, reach out to any experts that you have.
This is every community's worst nightmare. I want to give you some preliminary information to put a lot of minds at ease. There is no further threat. Both suspects in this case are deceased. All of the kids are safe. Our hearts go out to the families that are in this moment being notified of what has happened to their loved ones. We have 3 confirmed adults that are deceased at the Islamic
News choppers cause accidents all the time. I believe that.
Center. There is a lot of preliminary information that we're going to try to highlight and cover, but understand it's going to take us some time to get
that helicopter the fuck out of here. We don't need an aerial shot right now of the fucking shot.
Accurate information out to everyone. Here's what we know so far.
This is so unnecessary.
At about 11:43, we received a call of an active shooter at the Islamic Center. Within 4 minutes, officers arrived on scene and observed immediately 3 deceased, what appeared to be deceased victims out in front. They immediately began to deploy with an active shooter response into the mosque and adjacent school. At about the same time, we began to receive calls from just a couple blocks away that we had more active gunfire. Officers were also responding to that call for service at the same time. There was a landscaper that was doing his work that was shot at and fortunately was not hit.
I'll try one more time. It feels like a Fed setup to lay groundwork for an Arab, CIA, Israel, same thing, attack back. Yeah, like trying to get Iran to do like a reverse attack, a Uno reversal.
That was at about the 7100 block of Salerno, which is just a couple blocks from here. Moments later, at the 3800 block of Hatton, officers were called to that location where they found a vehicle in the middle of the street with who we believe to be the shooters in this incident, both deceased. The circumstances that led up to this And the details of what happened and exactly which time it happened will come out in the days ahead. I can tell you, this is, in 28 years, this is the
Yo, this guy's slow or something?
most dynamic and impressive response that I have ever seen in policing.
Yeah, dude, I think my friend from yoga is going to crochet a new balaclava for me, and I asked if they can do cat ears on it, and I need to make like a mood board for what I want. But if you guys have any ideas for any other things, but I don't know, like it could be like a kneecap style, like actual balaclava with just eye holes and mouth hole, or should I have it be another? I mean, I guess it should be a butthole one. So it's another knitted anus. Although I realize it's not knitting, it's crochet. So I could be the crocheted anus. But yeah, if you guys have any ideas, if there's any other things I should request for it. Ask for the Nancy Guthrie. I mean, that's the other thing too, right? Maybe it should be the classic like balaclava, like the Nancy Guthrie style one. Yeah. I think it should be this with cat ears, right? No, kneecap the band, like a full balaclava. Not like a knee brace. Yeah, the crocheted crotch. Do the Savannah Guthrie style one. Yeah, I think I kind of like that too. And then I can have it be a total, you know, it can be my alter ego, total Joker brain, when I need to hide my face and do some hood rat shit, you know? Where can I get a realistic cat ear band? I guess Etsy, huh? Yeah, I bet the furry community could help you out massive there. Okay, so cool balaclava. What color should it... I feel like the brown... I think we can do better than brown. It does actually kind of make my face look like it's stuck. It's like a knee and a knee brace. Like with one of those windows. Or it's like when Jim Carrey was coming out of the rhinoceros. I was kind of thinking purple too. Orange would be cool. Like, you thinking like blaze orange or or probably like a burnt orange? Yeah, crochetedness. Okay, cool. And then once I have it, I can use it to go taunt Savannah Guthrie at the Today Show. I'll just stand outside the window with my purple crochetedness with cat ears. Yeah, it could be pink. Or it could have, I could see if it can look like Winky or something. That'd be funny to have an X over one of the eyes. But I would need to see. But, okay, cool. That's enough to go with. I can make a mood board out of that. I'm going to be like... Yo, I need it to look like the Nancy Guthrie ski mask, but with cat ears. But one of them has to be trimmed, so you know that I'm a feral cat who's neutered, unfortunately. Aren't we all kind of, though? We're definitely all circumcised, so it's just the mark of the circ. It's the Kirk of the circ, dude. But yeah, dude, then once I have this, I could actually go do masked vigilante crusaderism. I'll go clean up the streets from all these crooked cops. Beat their ass. And they'll never know it was me. Everyone's got a crochetiness. Yeah, black could be cool too. It could be Mushka. Alright, sweet. Dope. Thanks, guys. Thanks for helping.
We have every single police officer available throughout our county that dropped what they're doing and did exactly what they're trained to do.
Would kill kids, kill dogs, beat their wives, rape people in the back of their cop cars, stand by as children are murdered by masked vigilantes. What do you mean? Protect billionaires? Protect sex pests? Protect pedophiles? What are you talking about?
Run towards gunfire.
Wait, that's what he was talking about? Running toward gunfire? That's what he meant? None of the stuff I said?
I could not be more proud, and I cannot express.
Bro, I could have... yeah, the cops that you ran into that time on the bike with the bike tickets were so small you probably could. Bro, I could beat all three of their asses at once. They literally all had the pot belly, too. It was so cute, honestly. You know, where you got the big old beer belly. Mendez also had a crush on me, so he's automatically going to lose. Pan didn't know his ass from his head, man. And then what's the other one? The Munchkin. My Munchkin cop. Oh, man, I miss him. I think about him a lot. Every time I pass that spot, I always look for them. I'm like, are my friends here? Do I have to put my headphones down so I can go berate them?
The gratitude, the willingness to step into harm's way in a moment like this. And I tell you what got me.
Wait, the one and only. So did we find out if the piss ass was a psyop or not? I mean, dude, I don't know about psyop, but it definitely can't be good for us. It's just like a burning hot heated coil surrounded by plastic, cooked in the open air. I mean, us falling for that and thinking that's okay is the psyop in itself, right?
Watching the kids come running out. Just thankful to be alive.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the...
Do you want to watch a couple minutes of this? I saw the part when John Kiriakou or whatever just stands by as Matan waterboards his co-host and helps him.
Podcast for today.
Oh, what's this? Glass child who survived the mud flood. You want to watch this? Is this an AI thing, though?
In 1879, a traveling photographer named William Jackson arrived
like a
in
real
a small
person.
town outside Sacramento with his collapsible darkroom and glass plate camera. He was there to document what remained of the old settlements, the ones people didn't talk about anymore, the ones buried under 20 feet of earth. But he didn't expect to meet her. Sarah Whitmore, 73 years old, the last living person who remembered the world before the mud came. She'd been 9 years old when it happened, 9 years old when entire cities disappeared in a single night. And what she told him that afternoon, what she described in detail while he set up his camera and prepared his plates, would never make it into any history book. Her testimony was too dangerous, too specific, too impossible to explain. By the time Jackson's photograph was developed, Sarah was already dead. The image survived, her words were buried. Until now. If you've been following me, you know I don't do fluff. I follow the evidence, the architectural anomalies, the basement windows at ground level, the buried first floors across every major city in the Western world.
Is that a mountain in the middle of the town square?
But this video isn't about buildings. It's about the one person who saw it happen and lived long enough to tell someone who actually wrote it down. Jackson's notes sat in a private collection for 140 years. They were never meant to be published. What's inside them changes everything we think we know about the 1800s. Before we go further, if you're here for the truth, not the sanitized version they taught you in school, hit subscribe. I cover suppressed history, architectural evidence, and the massive lies embedded in our timeline every single week. This channel exists because the official story doesn't hold up under scrutiny. Now let's go back to 1879, to a dying woman who remembered when the sky turned black at noon. Sarah Whitmore was born in 1806 in a settlement near what's now Sacramento, California. But according to her testimony, that settlement wasn't a frontier town. It was a developed city, stone buildings, paved streets, infrastructure that shouldn't have existed in the American West in the early 1800s, according to our accepted timeline. She described a world that doesn't match the narrative we've been sold, a world where advanced cities already stood before pioneers supposedly arrived to build them from scratch. Her earliest memories were of the grand marketplace, 3 stories tall, cast iron railings, glass skylights. She described merchants selling fabrics from across the world, mechanical devices she didn't have names for, and a public fountain system that ran through underground channels. This was 1810, 5 years before the supposed founding of modern Sacramento. Sarah remembered gaslights. She remembered cobblestone streets, wide enough for 4 carriages. She remembered buildings that our history books insist weren't built until the 1860s. But none of that mattered after 1815. That was the year the mud came. Sarah was 9 years old. It was late October. She remembered the air feeling wrong, heavy. The animals were acting strange for days. Dogs wouldn't stop barking. Horses refused to move. Birds left the area in time.
Bro, how do you think they did this in the 1815 or 16 or whatever? How do you think they mud flooded? Think they just turned the... I bet that they turned the pyramid on backwards or something.
Then the sky changed.
That's probably why the pyramid's on all the money too. Because they used it to fucking wreck everyone's shit.
Not gradually, all at once. She said it went from clear blue to thick grey in minutes, like a curtain being pulled across the sun. The mud arrived without warning. No rain, no flood from a river. The ground itself seemed to liquefy and rise. She described it as a wave, but not made of water. Made of earth. Thick, moving fast, swallowing entire buildings in seconds. She was on the 3rd floor of her family's home when it hit. The building shook. She heard screaming from the street below. Then silence. When she looked out the window, the first 2 floors were gone.
Yeah, and then all these giant cities were just empty. What the fuck? It's literally like people were just swallowed up.
Buried. The street was gone. The marketplace across from her house was gone. Only the tops of the tallest structures remained visible. Everything else vanished under a sea of mud. Her father pulled her away from the window, told her not to look. But she did. She saw people trapped on rooftops, saw others trying to dig their way out, saw the mud continue to rise. By the time night fell, her 3rd floor window was at ground level. That's the part that should make you stop and think. Her 3rd floor window became the new street level. Overnight, 20 feet of earth appeared and settled as if it had always been there. Now here's where it gets stranger. Sarah said the mud wasn't just mud. It had weight, but no moisture. It didn't behave like a mudslide or a flood. It moved like a living thing. She described it covering buildings and then hardening almost immediately, like it was depositing layer after layer of compressed earth in a process that should take thousands of years but happened in hours. The survivors, the ones who
What the fuck, dude?
made it to upper floors or climbed onto rooftops, faced a new problem. They were stranded. No rescue came, no government response, no organised effort to dig people out. Because according to Sarah, this wasn't an isolated event. It was happening everywhere. Travellers who made it into town weeks later brought reports. San Francisco buried, Portland buried, settlements up and down the coast wiped out or half swallowed. Some cities lost their lower levels entirely, others were completely erased. But here's the thing, within 5 years, new cities were being built on top of the old ones. The same city names, the same street layouts, but new construction starting at the new ground level. And the official story. The old cities never existed. Pioneers arrived and built from scratch. The buried structures...
Yeah, it's a fucking dry-ass mud flood, dude.
Below. Basements, old foundations, forgotten tunnels, nothing to see here. Sarah's family survived. Barely. They were forced to abandon their home and move into what became a shanty town on the outskirts. Hundreds of refugees living in temporary shelters built on top.
I do think these are AI images, yeah.
Of the new ground level. She said they were forbidden from talking about what happened, not by law, by force. People who spoke openly about the buried cities disappeared. Entire families vanished overnight. The message was clear. Accept the new story or face consequences. And the new story was simple. The West was wild and undeveloped. Pioneers were taming a savage land. Cities were being built for the first time. Progress, expansion, manifest destiny. Except that story required erasing the evidence of what came before.
This is democracy manifest. You, sir, are you ready to receive my limp penis?
And that evidence was everywhere, literally buried under your feet. Sarah watched as new settlers arrived and were told they were founding new towns. They had no idea they were building on top of existing cities. No idea that 20 feet below them were fully intact structures, streets, and systems. The new arrivals believed the story. Why wouldn't they? But Sarah knew. She'd lived in those buildings, walked those streets. She'd seen the world before they rewrote it. By the 1820s, the survivors were dying off. Old age, disease, accidents. Each death removed another witness, another person who remembered the before times. Sarah said it felt intentional, like they were being picked off one by one until no one was left to contradict the official narrative. She watched her parents die, watched her siblings die, watched friends and neighbours disappear.
What is my crime? Eating a succulent Chinese meal?
By the 1850s, she was one of a handful of people left who still remembered, and she kept her mouth shut for decades because she'd seen what happened to the ones who didn't. But in 1879, she was dying. Cancer, probably. She knew she didn't have much time, and that's when William Jackson showed up, a travelling photographer documenting the Old West. Except he wasn't just taking pictures. He was asking questions, specifically about the buried buildings, the basement windows at street level, the strange architecture that didn't match the supposed timeline. Sarah decided to talk, not publicly, but to him, in private, with the understanding that he'd keep her words safe until after she was gone. And he did. He wrote everything down. 14 pages, front and back, her entire testimony, the cities before the mud, the event itself, the cover-up that followed. He even sketched diagrams based on her descriptions, cross-sections showing buried structures, maps of streets that no longer existed above ground. Then he took her photograph, the one that still exists today. If you've seen it, you know the image I'm talking about. An old woman sitting in a chair, stern expression, eyes that look right through you. That's Sarah Whitmore, the last witness. And in that photo, she's holding something, a small object in her lap. Most people assume it's a book or a Bible. It's not. It's a piece of carved stone, a fragment from the old marketplace. She kept it her entire life, hidden. A physical reminder that the world she remembered was real. Jackson's notes were never published. He tried. Multiple publishers rejected them, too controversial, too dangerous. One editor told him flat out that printing Sarah's testimony would destroy his career and possibly get him killed. So he locked the notes away, passed them down to his children with instructions to keep them private. And they did. For 140 years.
Let go
Until
of my
2019,
penis!
Jackson's great-great-grandson donated the family archives to a university. That's when the notes surfaced. 14 pages of Sarah Whitmore.
That's what we were all screaming to the doctor on our first day of life. Let go of my limp penis! What is my crime?
Or describing a world that shouldn't exist. Cities that aren't supposed to be there. An event that erased them overnight, and a coordinated effort to rewrite history in real time. Now let's talk about what this means, because Sarah's testimony isn't unique, it's just the most detailed. There are other accounts, buried in private letters, hidden in journals, scattered across estate sales and forgotten archives. Other survivors who described the same thing. A massive mud event in the early 1800s that buried cities across the Western world, not just America.
Yeah, this all came out during COVID. The story was hidden for 140 years and then came out during COVID. Yeah, that is interesting. We can't be alien bald again. We're putting this story at 33% probability.
America, Europe,
If everything's 33% chance of being true, then we're fine. We can never be alien bald again.
Asia, everywhere. I've tracked down 17 separate written accounts from different survivors across 3 continents, all describing the same event, same time frame, 1811 to 1816. Same phenomenon, mud appearing from nowhere, burying existing cities, followed by immediate reorganization and historical revision. These aren't connected sources, these are independent witnesses who had no contact with each other, yet their stories...
Yeah, did like everyone just die? Everyone just got swallowed up by the mud? How could they do this? How could they vibrate the entire earth like a fucking cymatic plate?
In London, a woman named Margaret Cole wrote to
dirt.
her sister in 1823 describing how the old streets of Westminster were buried and rebuilt at a new level. She described the same atmospheric lights, the same metal towers installed before the event, the same officials arriving afterward with new property claims. Her letter was discovered in 2015 in an estate sale. Never published, never acknowledged, just sitting in a box of old correspondence. In St. Petersburg, a Russian engineer named Dmitry Volkov kept a journal throughout 1812. He documented the installation of strange equipment around the city, towers with glass components, officials from elsewhere giving orders to local authorities. Then a mud event in March 1813 that buried the lower city. His journal entries stop abruptly after that. The next entry, 6 months later, is in a different handwriting, someone else continuing his journal, claiming he died of illness. But that handwriting analysis shows it was forged. Someone wanted his documentation to stop. In Shanghai, there are property records showing mass redistribution of land in 1814. Hundreds of deeds transferred from old families to new owners, all dated just after what local records vaguely refer to as the settling. No details, no explanation, just sudden massive transfer of wealth and property. And underneath modern Shanghai, buried cities, multiple layers, structures that predate the supposed founding of the modern city by centuries. The pattern repeats everywhere you look. The evidence is global, but it's been fragmented, scattered, separated so no one could see the full picture. That's intentional, because if you put all these accounts together, if you map out every documented mud event from 1811 to 1816, you get a timeline that destroys the official narrative, and the evidence backs it up. Go to any major city built in the 1800s, look at the buildings, you'll find basement windows at ground level, doors that open into dirt, first floors that are clearly buried. The official explanation is settling, or poor construction, or raised street levels. But when you see it everywhere, in every city following the same pattern, that explanation falls apart. Take San Francisco. The official story is that the city was founded in 1776 as a Spanish mission, then boomed during the gold rush in 1849. Small settlement to major city in 70 years. Impressive growth. Except when you actually look at the architecture, that timeline doesn't work. Buildings supposedly constructed in the 1860s have buried first floors, original doorways 12 feet underground, windows that now open into basements but were clearly designed as ground floor windows. The architectural style matches Sarah's descriptions of pre-1815 construction. Not 1860s frontier buildings, and it's not just one or two buildings, it's...
What the fuck is this? Bone pictures?
Systematic. Entire city blocks showing the same pattern, the same burial depth, the same architectural anachronisms. In the 1980s, during construction of the BART subway system, workers broke through into massive underground chambers. Intact rooms, paved streets, a network of structures that shouldn't exist according to San Francisco's official timeline. They documented it, took photos, then sealed it back up, called it unstable, too dangerous to explore. The photos still exist if you know where to look. Chicago has the same problem. The Great Chicago Fire of 1871 supposedly destroyed most of the city. But here's what doesn't make sense. After the fire, when they rebuilt, they raised the street level by 14 feet. The official reason was to improve drainage, but raising an entire city by 14 feet isn't a drainage solution. That's burying evidence. That's hiding whatever was at the original ground level. And what was at that level, according to workers who excavated during later construction projects, fully intact buildings, not fire damage, not rubble, complete structures buried deliberately. Seattle did the same thing. After a fire in 1889, they raised the streets and built on top of the old city, created what's now called the Seattle Underground. Except the Seattle Underground isn't an underground, it's the original ground level. The old streets, the old storefronts, all buried under the new city. They say it was for tidal flooding prevention. But Seattle's original settlement was built by people who understood the tidal patterns. They wouldn't have built at a level that flooded unless that level was fine until something caused rapid soil deposition, like a mud event. Sarah described buildings in Sacramento that still exist. Underground, buried structures that match her descriptions perfectly. In the 1960s, during construction for a new subway line, workers broke through into a network of tunnels and rooms, old streets, intact buildings. They sealed it back up, called it a safety hazard. But people took photos, drew maps. The layout matches Sarah's testimony. The architecture matches her descriptions. The evidence
You can't say they took photos and not show us photos,
there.
dude.
Old Sacramento, the historic district, sits on top of the buried city. The current street level is 22 feet
Casa?
higher than the original ground level. The official explanation is that they raised the streets to prevent flooding from the American River. But that flood risk existed when the original city was built. Why would the original builders construct at a level they knew would flood?
Yeah, the theory with the no bathroom shit is, and this gets into when we were talking about free energy, who was asking what everyone was powering. I think mostly, hopefully, they were powering their bodies. You know how when you hear like that people can live on air, like monks can live on air, breatharians. I think they may have literally been able to do that before, because I think all of the cathedrals and everything, it was just like repeating and recycling ether. And we live off of ether, prana, chi. And I think it was abundant back in the day. And then they cut down all the trees, they took down all the fucking, it's spiritual energy, for real. It's wackadoodle, but I think it might be true. I think the spiritual everything is at the heart of all the shit, of why they're doing all the shit they do. But yeah, people didn't eat back then the way that we do. The whole eating 3 times a day is literally just to make everyone dumb. Because if your body's constantly spending all of your energy digesting food, then you can't use it to think or heal or, like, because our body heals in a fasted state if we're literally never fasting because we're always stuffing gullet, then, leads to unhealthiness. But mostly I think it's about the sluggishness and putting our body's energy into digesting food rather than doing the fucking revolution. Yeah, they 9/11 poop and farts. I think that's probably, dude, I bet that's why, you know how farts were such a huge thing in medieval times? It was like all of a sudden everyone thought farts were funny. Well, I guess that's not true. I think that was in Greek times too, that there are accounts of people joking about farts. I mean, farts I'm sure have always been funny, but what if people didn't fart before then, before all the buildings and everything were destroyed, because they weren't eating the way that we do, So then all of a sudden they got to eat to have energy because all the buildings are gone and all the free energy's gone. So now they be eating all the time. Their little intestines aren't used to devouring all this food, so they be massive farting, dude, and that's why they were so obsessed with farts. What if? You never know.
They wouldn't. The original level was fine, until it got buried. You can still access some of the underground areas. Tour companies run trips through the old tunnels. They tell you these were basements and storage areas. But when you look at the construction...
Yeah, the air theory kind of makes sense because it's wild how our bodies keep healing and functioning on little nutrients. Yeah, dude. I know. It is crazy. And it's kind of like how plants, I think... Don't plants literally grow out of thin air? Like, the end of a plant is attracting carbon out of the air or some weird shit like that. Like, it's not pulling material up from the bottom and bringing it up to the branches and shit to create limbs, right? Isn't it literally like magic? It's like pulling the fucking itself into being out of thin air. But I think that's kind of like us. I think the prana is our energy, or it should be our primary energy, but it's so diminished at this point. That's what covering the sun's probably about a little bit. Yeah, killing all the trees, making us not move, not want to be outside, eating their poison food, all that shit.
That doesn't make sense. These spaces have windows, ornate doorways, finished walls and ceilings. Nobody finishes a basement like that. These were ground floor spaces, shops, residences, now underground because the surface rose by 22 feet. And that depth matches Sarah's testimony. She said the mud rose about 20 feet. 22 feet is remarkably close, considering she was estimating up from memory 64 years later. That level of accuracy isn't coincidence, that's a precise witness account. But here's the part that really matters. Sarah didn't just describe what happened, she described why. And this is where her testimony gets dangerous. She said the mud came after the sky changed, after weeks of strange atmospheric phenomena, lights in the sky. Sounds like thunder, but constant, a feeling of pressure building, then release. She described it as if the earth itself was reacting to something happening above it. Not a natural disaster. Something triggered, something controlled. According to Jackson's notes, Sarah became very specific at this point. She described the lights as geometric patterns, not random flashes or natural phenomena like aurora. She said they formed grids in the sky, precise, repeating, visible for 3 nights before the mud came. People gathered in the streets to watch. Some thought it was a sign from God. Others thought it was some kind of celestial event. But Sarah said her father, who'd been a surveyor and engineer, recognized them as something else. Measurement markers, like someone was mapping the area from above. She also described technology that shouldn't have existed in 1815. In the weeks before the event, officials arrived in the city with strange equipment. Tall metal towers they erected at specific points around the settlement. Sarah said they claimed it was for telegraph lines, but the telegraph wasn't invented until the 1830s. And these towers didn't have wires. They had what she described as glass bulbs at the top that glowed at night. Humming sounds came from them, a frequency that made people's teeth hurt if they stood too close. Her father tried to ask questions. He was told to mind his business. When he persisted, when he tried to examine one of the towers, he was arrested, held for 2 days, released with a warning. He never spoke about it again, at least not publicly. But Sarah overheard him talking to her mother late at night. He said the towers were conducting something, drawing something up from the ground or pulling something down from the sky. He didn't know which, but he knew they weren't communication devices. 3 days after the last tower was installed, the mud came. Now think about what that means. Think about the implications. If Sarah's father was right, if those towers were part of some kind of system, then the mud event wasn't random. It wasn't a natural disaster. It was the result of deliberate action. Someone triggered it. Someone knew it was coming. And someone benefited from the aftermath. Sarah talked about the people in charge, the ones who arrived after the mud settled. Officials, surveyors, men with documents and maps. They weren't there to help. They were there to claim, to reorganize, to establish new ownership over land that already had owners buried beneath it. She said they moved with purpose.
Bro, it's how they enclosed the United States.
Like they knew exactly what to
Enclosures. It's feudalism.
do. Like this was planned.
Feudalism with dry mud floods.
Specifically remembered one man. She didn't know his name, but she described him in detail. Tall, well-dressed, foreign accents she couldn't place. He arrived.
I thought that the narrator is real, but can never be certain these days.
Arrived 2 weeks after the event with a team of workers and a stack of property deeds, brand new deeds, dated before the mud event, claiming ownership of land that had belonged to families now buried or displaced. When survivors protested, when they showed their own deeds and ownership documents, they were told those records were invalid, destroyed in the disaster.
Huh.
The new deeds were the only legal
Sounds kind of like Zionism, bro.
documents recognized. Sarah watched families lose everything, not just their homes and possessions buried
The old world was erased for 19th century smart cities.
under 20 feet of mud, but their legal right to the land itself. The new officials redistributed property to people who hadn't been there before the event. New owners, new claims, all backed by documents that somehow survived a catastrophe that supposedly destroyed everything else. And within a decade, the new cities were thriving, built on top of the old ones, with new residents who had no idea what lay beneath them. The survivors were marginalized, called crazy,
Fucking bodies lay beneath them.
dismissed as superstitious or senile. Their stories were erased. Their evidence was buried, literally. But some survivors kept
Pooch
records.
time.
Sarah mentioned a group of families who secretly documented everything. Names of the officials who arrived, descriptions of the equipment, copies of the old property deeds they managed to hide, testimonies from multiple witnesses. They compiled it all into a ledger, planned to present it to higher authorities to demand investigation and justice. That ledger disappeared, along with the families who created it. Sarah said they were found dead in their homes, all of them, within a week. Official cause was typhoid, but there was no typhoid outbreak. No other cases, just those specific families, the ones who kept records, the ones who wouldn't stay quiet. The message was received. The remaining survivors stopped talking. They accepted the new reality. They taught their children to forget. And over time, the memory faded. Within 2 generations, the old cities became myths, stories grandparents told that nobody believed. By the 1880s, when Sarah finally spoke to Jackson, she was the last one left who could describe it with authority, the last primary source, and she knew exactly what she was doing. She wasn't just sharing memories, she was creating a record, evidence that would outlast her, evidence that would one day surface and force people to confront the truth. She told Jackson everything, down to the smallest details, the names of streets that no longer existed, the location of buildings now buried, the layout of the old marketplace, the design of the fountain system, specific architectural features that could be verified if anyone ever excavated. She even drew him a map, from memory, showing the old city layout versus the new one. Jackson included that map in his notes. It's still there, and it matches. Modern archaeological surveys of underground Sacramento match Sarah's map almost perfectly. The streets where she said they'd be, the buildings in the right locations, the fountain channels running in the pattern she described. That's not coincidence. That's not false memory. That's accurate testimony from a primary witness. Sarah Whitmore spent 64 years watching history get rewritten, watching the truth disappear. And when she finally spoke, when she finally told someone what really happened, she made sure it was documented. Because she knew that one day someone would find those notes, someone would ask the right questions, someone would look at the buried cities and refuse to accept the official story. That someone is you. Right now. Reading this. Looking at the same evidence she described. Seeing the same patterns.
This is
asking
us.
the same questions. The photograph of
ABC.
Sarah Whitmore still exists. You can find it in archives. Study her face. Look at her eyes. That's the face of someone who watched the world end and then watched everyone pretend it never happened. That's the face of someone who carried the truth for 64 years, knowing she'd never see it acknowledged in her lifetime. She died 3 days after Jackson took that photo. October 1879. She's buried in an unmarked grave outside Sacramento. No headstone, no record. Just like the cities she remembered, buried, forgotten, erased. But her words survived. And now you know what she knew. The cities existed before they say they did. The mud came and buried them. The cover-up was immediate and absolute. And the timeline we've been taught is a lie built on top of evidence we're not supposed to see. So what do you do with this information? You look, you investigate. You stop accepting convenient explanations for architectural impossibilities. You ask why every major city has buried structures. You question why the official timeline doesn't match the physical evidence. You follow the thread. Because Sarah Whitmore wasn't crazy, she wasn't confused, she was a witness. And her testimony is one piece of a much larger puzzle. A puzzle that reveals our entire understanding of the 1800s is wrong. The cities were already there. The infrastructure already existed. And something catastrophic reset it all. The mud flood wasn't a myth.
Yeah.
It was an event.
Can this group all live in the same neighborhood? I don't like my friends anymore. Yeah, dude, are your friends... I was talking to my brother about this last night, I think. Or, no, 2 nights ago. But yeah, it's just like, dude, I'm just sick of people talking about nothing. Like shit that don't matter, you know? What are they, being NPC brains? Or like not noticing. Like he was like, dude, the shit with the chemtrails, I can't get over it. It's like so blatant. It's so in our face. And people are just like, bleh, head down like pigs, dude. Don't be a pig, dude. You can articulate your neck so you can look up at the sky. Long human was fucking, they were cursed with a straight fused spine that looks at the ground so they can't look up at the stars and dream and wonder why is every fucking cloud in the sky fake? What happened to animals in the mud flood? Swallowed, bro. Seems like it.
Global event, and the people in power at the time made sure you'd never know it happened.
Yeah, at least can we have adjoining cells, Paul, please?
But now you do. I've got more. letters from other survivors, architectural evidence from 12 different cities, maps that don't match the official story, documents that prove coordinated suppression. This is just the beginning. If you want the full picture, subscribe. I'm releasing the next part of this investigation next week. We're going deeper into the who and the why, into the organizations that orchestrated the cover-up, into the technology that might have caused the event in the first place. And if you want to see the actual photograph of Sarah Whitmore, the one Jackson took, along with scans of his original notes, I've linked everything in the description. Go look at her face, read her words, then tell me she was lying. I'll see you in the next one.
See you in the next one. Oh, dude, speaking of waterboarding, have I ever showed you guys this cat? I love her so much.
I don't want to work. I just want to sit in the sink all day. Yeah. I don't want to work. I'll just be here waterboarding myself all day. Yeah. I don't want to work. I just want my special cup in the sink. Yeah, all day. I don't want to work. I'll just be over here drowning myself for the rest of the day. Yeah. I don't want to work.
Dude, senior cats are the greatest gift to humanity of all time.
I just want to sit in the sink all day. Yeah. I don't want to work. I'll just be here waterboarding myself all day. Yeah. I don't want to work. I just want my special cup in the sink. Yeah, all day.
Yeah.
I don't want to work. I'll just be over here drowning myself for the rest of the day. Yeah.
Dude, she loves it. That's why I don't have IRL friends. The sheep slave brain is stupid. All they talk about is football or their favorite politicians and regurgitate the slop they ingest from MSN every night or the fucking weather. Yeah. Although I've been a little bit of a weather bitch. I'm trying to sing the weather's praises so it doesn't run away from us. I don't want to work. I just want to waterboard myself all day. Yeah. I loved my normie friends too before they tried to fucking intervention me. If only they could have just kept themselves to themselves. But yeah, keep around your lovely NPC friends as long as they're not trying to put you in a fucking psychiatric unit. NPC lives matter too. Yeah. All right, Iran hit him with a new song about the weather, or about, yeah, wait, speaking of the weather, about keeping rain from Iran. New Lego video dropped. Yeah, Philly said, I like sports ball and Epstein Island exposing. You can be both. Yeah, exactly. I mean, we all got our shit. I love Vanderpump Rules. That's the most sloppiest slop of all slop. Nobody's... Po Buddy's nerfect, dude.
Little kids in southern Iran.
Dude, I will say, this Lego rendition of Cracked Lips is fucking cursed.
Slept with cracked lips for years. People prayed to God.
VPR is your girlfriend's favorite show? Girlfriend sounds fucking awesome, dude.
God for rain, but God sent the rain. America just blocked the way until the missiles opened the door.
Sanctioned Sky. Ooh, that's good.
They said it was drought, they said it was God's design. While satellites tracked every cloud on the line. 30 years of watching rivers run to dust. They called it climate change, but where was the trust? The farmers prayed on cracked earth, hands to the sky. The children waited in line, nobody said why. The ancient lake in the northwest turned to salt and bone. A graveyard of water, and they left it alone. They sanctioned the oil.
Dude, how is this guy really making all this shit with just an AI generator?
Sanction the bread, sanction the medicine until people were dead. But that wasn't enough for the men in the room, so they came for the rainfall, they came for the blooms. Chemtrails at midnight, radars before dawn. By the time the clouds gathered, the water was gone. Rerouted away from the mountains, steered out to sea, while someone in the boardroom poured coffee, laughing at me. Operation Popeye, look it up, it's real. Vietnam's monsoon became a weapon of steel. 60 years later, same playbook, new war. Just a different country bleeding, knocking at your door. LBJ said it himself back in 65. He who controls the weather.
Yeah, Shooper, I'm not going to talk about it tonight because I just did I think it's 2 episodes ago. 2 episodes and 3 episodes ago. Towards like the second half, the back half. I talked about it for a good hour, I think, on either 492 or 491. But yeah, I mean, stick around. I'll talk about it again. I just got off a rant about it a couple streams ago, and I don't want to go on another one. But yeah, bunch of cucks. That's okay though.
The controls the world, still alive. That quote didn't die, it just changed its address from Southeast Asia to the Middle Eastern wilderness. How many seasons does a mother wait? Standing in the dust at the garden gate. The seeds won't grow if the sky won't give. Tell me who decided which people live. They couldn't kill us with guns, so they took the rain. They couldn't break our will, so they tried to play. But even stolen skies find their way back home. We are still standing here, we are not alone. They sanctioned the water,
Cucks.
they stole the cloud.
That was unsettling with the Lego man running with his head backwards and then swiveling it around.
Still breathing, we are still out. The rain is falling now. For every year we cry, this is not just weather. This is our pride. Let me break it down, let's get into the facts. Harp in Alaska.
Let me break it down. Let's get to the facts. Bro, okay, wait. So I made a dummy video about Mr. Wonderful today. But Aaron Dramus hit me with a new fucking Andy Dick video. Just wait. We'll watch this first. Oh.
Yo, everyone knows that Kevin O'Leary killed 2 people with his boat.
Yeah, have you guys heard this?
Like a couple summers ago, right? Everyone remembers this? That Kevin O'Leary, the guy who wants to put that giant Utah data center in the middle of Utah where he doesn't fucking live. Yeah, he killed 2 people with his boat because he's a rich guy and all they do is run us over and kill us, and then they get off and then they get to go fucking do Shark Tank forever. And then they get to go do data centers forever. But yeah, Kevin O'Leary killed 2 people with this boat. Yeah, look, Kevin O'Leary killed these 2 people with this fucking boat because he ran them over. Yeah, the same Kevin O'Leary who hosts Shark Tank and wants to kill everyone in Utah with a data center, he killed 2 people with a boat. Oh wait, sorry, this just in, guys. Actually, Kevin O'Leary's wife was driving the speedboat. So at 11:30 p.m. on a dark, moonless night, Kevin O'Leary and his wife were speedboating in the middle of the night on a lake, and then they fucking plowed into a pontoon boat that was looking at the stars. But don't worry, it was the pontoon boat's fault, not Kevin O'Leary. Or just kidding, it wasn't Kevin O'Leary, it was definitely his wife, who he totally let drive his speedboat, right? Guys, this Kevin O'Leary who wears pink flip-floppies while he's talking about his cool data center in Utah killed 2 people with his fucking boat. Sorry. It was his wife. I keep forgetting. The incident. A smaller ski boat carrying Kevin O'Leary, Linda O'Leary, who was driving, and a family friend. Linda was given a roadside breathalyzer test, which the O'Leary defense stated she passed.
Okay, dude. That's an interesting detail, right? Linda got breathalyzed, but Mr. Wonderful sounds like he didn't. Is that because he wasn't driving? If he was driving and he got breathalyzed, do you think he would have passed? And also, besides, like, dude, the way that they got off is because the pontoon boat had their lights off because they were admittedly looking at the stars. Like, I don't have a speedboat, but you can't tell me that it's like common practice to open up your fucking throttle in the middle of the night at 11:30 p.m. like they say on a moonless night. Look at the fucking detail. Like, why would a reporter or a newspaper person write a moonless night? Is that just a detail for you, or is that for you to paint a picture so you go, oh, Kevin O'Leary couldn't see, well, his wife couldn't see, so not really his fault. Like, you know what I mean? But yeah, so Kevin O'Leary's not breathalyzed, and this boat has to be hauling ass in order to kill 2 people. They ran over 2 people on a pontoon boat? How? They must have been going so fast, and there's no fucking way that that's like normal standard procedure to go so fast that you could run up on a pontoon boat and kill 2 people when it's 11:30 at night. Right? I don't care if someone doesn't have a light on. But yeah, so Kevin O'Leary didn't get breathalyzed, still gets to do his data center.
Good to hear from the defense team that she passed and that she was driving and it wasn't Kevin O'Leary who killed 2 people with his fucking...
I mean, if you think no one's out there... But it's like a vacation lake, you know? It's not like, I don't know. It doesn't feel like nighttime when it's pitch black out is like the time to be opening up the throttle on your fucking speedboat. Just seems like common sense, right?
Boat. Guys, Kevin O'Leary's wife killed these 2 people with his speedboat that he totally let her drive. It was a dark, moonless night in the summer of 2019 on Lake Joseph when Kevin O'Leary was a passenger in a speedboat driven by his wife, Linda, who was totally driving, guys. See, all of the news got their story straight. That Kevin O'Leary did not kill the 2 people. It was his wife, because she's a and he let her drive because she's stupid. But don't worry, because Kevin O'Leary paid the kids of the people that he murdered, well, his wife did, $100,000 minus $25,000 for them fucking lawyers. Hell yeah, dude. Your life is worth $75,000 at best to Kevin O'Leary. If he kills you with his data center, you're gonna get maybe $50K, okay? But Kevin O'Leary killed people with a boat. I mean, his wife did. Yo, everyone.
Yeah, right. Isn't that the standard that you should be careful boating at night anywhere at any time? Like, that's the whole point. You don't know. It's a fucking dark lake. But anyway, so Aaron Dramus, our homie who always says that we look like fucking Andy Dick, he just made this with my this is a new one. This is from my half marathon picture. No music? Oh, hell yeah. Wait, can I not comment on this?
All right.
What the fuck? Where's the video? Whatever. Oh, I guess I can just comment it on the actual post. Whatever. So funny. Fucking got me, dude. We even have the same exact glasses too. Fuck. What was this? Someone posted this in the disco. Beef Castle said, "Is this the guy who swerved at you?" Let's see. I haven't watched this. Oh, yeah, I mean, this is what the guy wanted to do.
Get the fuck on!
Bro, he literally started taking his seatbelt off like he was going to get out of the car, and then I stopped next to him. I was like, what are you doing? His wife kept holding him in. Yeah, I am the real Andy Dick. Andy Dick is just pretending to be me. No, this dude didn't have the balls to get out of the truck.
You cut me off!
Okay, so you're gonna freak out on me?
Yeah, I am! You about fucking hit me!
Okay.
You stupid fucking bitch! I'll crush your motherfucking
Don't touch
life.
me.
You fucking
Don't
get near
touch
my
me.
truck again and I'll knock
Don't
your fucking
touch
brains
me.
out.
Don't
Don't
touch me.
go near my truck!
Don't touch me.
Don't go near my
Get
truck!
away from me.
Don't go near my truck.
Get your ass out!
Okay, knock me out.
Go near my truck! Go ahead. I won't get
You're
in your
gonna
way.
knock me out? Okay.
Go ahead, get in my way.
Bro, this feels like elder abuse, toothless abuse.
Don't.
What is he holding? Probably his fucking teeth, bro.
Hold you, bitch.
Get away from me.
He's
gonna
so
hit me?
close, bro.
You ever fucking cut me off
Don't
like that again?
Fucking put your finger in my face.
I'll do what the fuck I want.
You ain't gonna
Apparently
touch
you
me.
do what the fuck you want, cunt.
Because I turned in front of you because you were going slow?
Yeah, you about hit my fucking
I did
truck.
not hit you. I have a dash cam I can show you.
Everybody needs to slow down. Except for bikes. You can go as fast as you want, boys.
I don't give a
I have a
fuck.
dash cam.
Yeah, I'm waiting for him to use a slur. I'm waiting.
Wait.
So far, honestly, kind of on Guy's side a little bit. She did admittedly cut him off.
You're a fucking bitch ass turd.
I can show you my dash cam.
You say you're a fucking bitch ass girl.
I did not hit you. I have a dash cam I can show you.
I don't give a fuck.
I have a dash cam. I
You
can
wait,
show
you're a
you.
fucking bitch ass turd.
Oh, you wait your fucking bitch ass turn, dude. I kind of rock with this guy.
I can show you my dash cam.
I don't give a fuck about your dash cam.
Because you see that you're
I bet
wrong.
you're a fucking Biden supporter, ain't you, cunt?
Well, I don't even follow politics.
Biden blast, dude. Biden blast.
You crazy ass.
Get the fuck away from my
Get
truck.
the fuck away from me.
Out.
Knock me out.
Steve says he uses a Biden slur.
Knock me out, then.
You know what, bitch? I'm 62 years old. I ain't afraid of prison. I'm not. Fuck.
Dude, did he bite his own lip with one of his jangly teeth to make himself bleed? What the fuck is going on?
All right.
Ever fucking cut in front of me again.
I didn't cut in front of you.
You did say that you cut him off.
Oh, you're gonna take your license?
Bro! Dude, the self-sabotage during the rage, you gotta, come on, man. Come on, man, you were winning. You just made yourself lose. Why would he do that? That's so funny. Clearly doesn't know how video works. He's so mad about her almost damaging his truck, he damages it himself. Yeah, he assaults his own license plate. He's like, only I get to fuck my truck up. This truck is in terrible shape, too. It's not even in great shape. Like, look, it's all rusty. Come on, bro. Calm down. This shit's funny as fuck. The guy did have this same kind of rage though, where he got fucking, he was beat red, dude. He was gonna lose it.
It's alright, I already got it on the dash cam. I don't give a fuck what you got. I already got it on the dash cam. That's cool, bro. Go on with your badass self, bitch.
He's gonna get pulled over for fucking unreadable license plate now. He's like, no, I did it to myself. Amazing. Love that. Oh God, what's Nick Shirley up to?
They've imported hostile, violent men into our communities, and then they've tried to smear us as racists or extremists for wanting protection of our women.
This is the revolt. This is the peasants revolting.
Nick's like, do you guys have daycare with Somalis here that I can go? I want to see the kids, please. Do you? We love Nick Shirley here, friend of the show, Nick Shirley.
He needs to stop branding hard-working Brits as far right. We just want to be heard, and he's ignoring us.
At the end of the day, do you think a civil war is inevitable here?
Yeah, it's been going on for years. I don't recognise my country no more. Keir Starmer is like an actual traitor.
Today, we're here in the streets of London. We have the Big Ben right behind us here today.
We got the Big Ben up here behind us.
And today it's set to be one of the biggest marches in the history of the United Kingdom. Hundreds of thousands of people are set to...
The United Kingdom.
Coming from all...
How many times do you think Nick has to take these?
Across the United Kingdom to come into the streets of London today. Right now, over 4,000 police officers have been deployed into London, and they're using new facial recognition cameras to track who comes in and out.
Pawentio. You guys like Pawentio? We like Pidotio.
The protest. That is something that has never happened before, and at all the major stations like King's Cross, they have new cameras that have facial recognitions, and they're tracking quite literally everyone that comes into this protest. And they have even banned journalists from entering into the United Kingdom to cover this event. Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, has been out.
Do you think someone said, do you think this bike kid said something to him?
Into this protest, and they have even banned before, and at all the major stations like King's Cross, they have new cameras that have facial recognitions, and they're tracking quite literally everyone.
New cameras that have facial recognitions
comes into this protest, and they have even banned journalists from entering into the United Kingdom to cover this event. Keir Starmer.
Damn, Bunny, you're 5 months, no smokes, no bogeys, no darts. Fucking A, brother. Congrats, that's dope.
The Prime Minister of the United Kingdom has been...
How do you feel? How do you feel otherwise besides the occasional craving or whatever? I only had real bad cravings for real when I had to do some mechanic work. I'm like, oh yeah, mechanic work on your car, that'll fucking do it.
Outspoken against those that are attending this march, saying that this march is led by convicted thugs and people that are spreading division and hate here inside the United Kingdom. He called it racist.
Wait, Theo Von called out Joe. Oh yeah, dude, that shit. Joe Rogan throwing Theo Von under the bus and being like, yeah, Theo's sad, like setting up Theo killing himself or something. That's pretty fucked, bro. But what Theo said, because the last thing I saw was that he tweeted, he was like, oh, this is unfortunate, but I'm a human, I'm fine. But wait, did he make a video or something about Rogan? Oh, the video cucked. Fixing. Joe Rogan. 1 year no ciggies or tobacco. Nice. Or alcohol. Nice. Did you quit both at the same time? Hell yeah.
Actually, tomorrow's march in London is a reminder of what we're up against in the Battle of Our Valley. The organisers, including convicted thugs and racists, are peddling hatred and division.
Convicted thugs. Oh my god, it's fucking cucked again. Dude, what the fuck is going on? Paul has cursed us, bro. This is not chill. Convicted thugs.
Plain and
there we go.
simple.
So today
there we go, boys.
We're speaking with everyone here in the streets of London to see what's going on and what they have to say about what they are fighting for as this.
Oh, wait. Here we go. Kyle Kuklinski here. This is way more important to me.
So Joe Rogan has been seemingly mentioning
Kyle Kuklinski,
Theo Von very often these days, and sort of airing his dirty laundry out publicly. It's kind of been bizarre to see.
Is it bizarre, or is he literally trying to discredit Theo because Joe Rogan is a Zionist? He's a fucking Israeli supporting Zionist, bro. Guys, when the fuck is everyone gonna wake up? Does Kyle Kuklinski have a ponytail? He should, bro.
He did this to his face. He's done this behind his back. He just keeps talking about Theo in this very kind of way. Listen to this. Theo Vaughn's going through the exact same thing.
Yeah, it's this condescending ass bullshit, bro.
Last time he was on the podcast.
This is, oh my god, it did it again. Dude, literally though, the way Joe Rogan, the way Joe Rogan talks about Theodore Von Theodore Von is that fucking like, I'm gonna lock you up psychiatry language. You know? As soon as you're like, oh, I'm worried about this person, I think they're gonna hurt themselves. They're gonna hurt themselves. Like, that means Joe Rogan eventually is gonna do an intervention on fucking Theo. He's gonna be like, Theodore, you know, sit down. We love you so much. We're worried about your your yoga usage.
Behind his back. He just keeps talking about Theo in this very derogatory kind of way. Listen to this.
Theo Vaughn's going through the exact same thing. And last time he was on the podcast, he was explaining it to me. And it freaks me out because I know Theo has had conversations before, like even publicly. He had a Netflix taping and it didn't go well. It was like they shelved it. They never used it. And there was
like, dude, this is really fucked up for him to be saying out loud like this. And there's a reason for it. Like, he is literally doing this to discredit Theodore. I can't say Theo. Every time I think Theo, I immediately go to Theodore because my interventionist name was Theo, and his name's Theodore, but he prefers Theo. Theodore Vaughn. Yeah, leave Theodore Vaughn alone, Joe Roganite.
There's stories from people that were there saying he bombed. I think he just had kind of a breakdown. And then he was talking to the crowd, and there's a video of it where he said, the people were shaking, hey, we still love you. He goes, thank you. Look, I'm trying not to take my own life. That's what I'm trying to do right now. Yeah. And like, you hear stuff like that, and you just go like, oh, Jesus Christ. I've known too many people that I didn't think were going to kill themselves and then did.
He's like, yeah, too many people that I loved, Peter Thiel murdered for, and then blamed it on suicide, like Anthony Bourdain.
And then he goes down these spirals where he starts talking about world events and freaking out. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. Like, I got to help this dude.
Okay.
Stay away, Joe.
Now you're just gaslighting him. Oh, he spirals when he's talking about world events. That is the correct reaction.
Yeah.
When you're talking about world events.
Genocide?
The pedophile rapist president is waging an illegal war against a country that didn't attack us and carpet bombing schools and hospitals. We're witnessing multiple...
And Joe's like, bro, we're rich. Shut the fuck up.
genocides being committed by Israel with our tax money and in our name. Inflation is through the roof. Gas prices are through the roof. People can't afford to pay the fucking bills. The economy is on the brink of total disaster, and you're going to go after him for spiraling over world events? In fact, if you don't spiral from world events,
you're nuts.
Something's fucking wrong with you. This is Joe Rogan gaslighting him.
Help this dude. And so I send him things about...
Yeah, this Kyle Kulinski take is fire, bro.
People getting off of them, and apparently there's some doctors that specialize in getting people off of them, but...
Oh my God, he's literally saying he's trying to prod his friend Theo Von to get off antidepressants. Oh, I know what'll save you. Let me get you off of antidepressants. Joe Rogan, you know fuck all about science. You literally know dick. You know dick. You're the type of guy to read a book.
Joe Rogan knows dick way more than y'all even know, bro. He knows dick through and through. He knows dick hard, bro.
Blog written from 2005 by convicted criminal fraudster, and believe that more than peer-reviewed double-blind studies. Okay? That's who you are. You're the type to give me some literal snake oil over any...
All right. We living out a little bit. We living out. That's okay. Still fire.
...thing created by Big Pharma, and, you know, then I'll be better off. And so Theo doesn't need your fucking advice. Theo should rely on doctors that have degrees to help him out with whatever issues he may or may not be dealing with, Joe, okay? Like, this is so gross to me. Because, like, he thinks he knows what he's talking about. He has no idea what he's talking about. Like, these things can be life-saving for many people. And how would you...
It's mostly just the airing this out about your friend publicly when this is kind of like a private thing. He's doing it to embarrass it. Yeah, exactly. To embarrass him, to get him to come to heel, to get him to think that he's crazy. Oh, I'm crazy for caring about children being murdered. Children being genocided for no fucking reason.
Feel, Joe, if he got off of that and then something happened to him? How would you feel about that? You probably wouldn't feel shit. In the same way you don't feel shit after you endorsed Donald Trump, and now he's going on a world historic crime spree that you helped bring us. In fact, at one point he literally said, like, I got him elected. Well, then congratulations. You got the blood of innocent dead Iranians on your hands, and you got the blood of Palestinians on your hands, and you got a global depression that's soon to be on your conscience as well. Your non-existent conscience as well.
And you're letting Peter Thiel turn everyone into evil gays. That's the biggest fucking travesty, bro. They're not turning your kids gay. They're turning your kids evil gay. It's different.
Well,
here's the thing about that chemical imbalance thing. That's not real.
Oh my God, yeah, because who would know better than fucking Joe Rogan, Mr. Science over here. Mr. You know, he's what, in his 50s and he's an anti-vaxxer, damn near 60, and he's still a fucking anti-vaxxer? Okay, so, now this, of course, reminds me of Theo Von was just on Rogan's show not that long ago, and when Theo was on, yet again, Joe was gaslighting him to his face over and over. Watch this.
This is why he's gaslighting Theo.
But I mean, I wouldn't call it he does war, but I
you mean what they're doing right now with Gaza?
Yeah, and I'm not jumping on you.
Iran is war. That's war. Iran's a real enemy.
Iran's a real...
He's such a cuck, dude. He's such a bitch. All these people scared of everyone. Everybody's so scared of everyone. My God, calm the fuck down, you pussies.
Enemy?
They're a real enemy. We gotta go over there and take them down. They got waterway we won't. Hoorah.
Based on what? Are you just like slurping Trump's semen now 24/7? Are you coddling Netanyahu's ballsack? Is that your job now, Mr. Anti-Establishment Podcaster?
Are they enemy to America?
Well, what they are is
the answer is no, Theo. Since you asked a direct question, I will provide you a direct answer. The answer is no. They're not an enemy to America.
Largest country in terms of like state-sponsored terrorism. They're the largest sponsor of terrorism.
Oh, hell no. We're not doing this. We're not doing this. Has he been co-opted? Like completely and utterly co-opted? I mean, this is absurd. That's literally a low IQ Hasbara talking point. It's bull.
Kyle Kuklinski isn't in the Joe Rogan is completely bought camp? What?
Bullshit. It's never been true. Ever. Ever. It gets worse. Ready?
But also, you got to think why. You know, and this is not excusing anybody for Islamist ideology, because it's scary, because they want a global caliphate, right?
He just said Iran wants a global caliphate. If you believe that, you shouldn't be allowed to talk on a podcast
He's
microphone.
like, I don't know anything about this, but they want to do a global jihad on everyone. That's what I heard from my sources, Peter Thiel. They also said that they're gonna butt fuck all of our dogs. It's crazy, dude. But, you know, we gotta kill them. What, are you gonna let your cats and dogs be butt fucked by them? They said literally, specifically, they have no interest in our women. They're gonna attack and sodomize our cats and dogs. Y'all don't care about animals anymore? Huh?
Never again. Because that is just factually not true. No, global caliphate is tied to jihadism. Jihadism is from fundamentalist Sunni Islam. It's from Salafism and Wahhabism. It's a totally different branch of Islam. Iran is Shia.
Yeah, isn't that what the Saudis are?
This is Sunni
Isn't the terrorist kind the Saudi kind?
fundamentalism you're talking about.
The ones that do 9/11 and stuff, you know, the Saudis and the FBI and the CIA.
Jihadism and a global caliphate. Iran does not want a global caliphate. How the fuck do I have to say this in the year of our Lord 2026? And Joe Rogan, one of the top podcasters in the world, is spreading this brazen misinformation.
Bro, it's year 2020 bricked up, am I right?
To millions of people as he gaslights his supposed friend.
They're radicals. But you got to go back to what happened in that country. And if you go back to what happened in that country, they tried to nationalize oil. Iran was like a westernized country. Girls were wearing miniskirts. Everybody's hot.
You seen that video from the 70s of Iran?
Yeah, bro. Everybody
Tits
looked
are
great.
popping.
So
Just popping.
What happened is slowly but surely, and quickly at first, because when they tried to
Theo just say tits are popping.
nationalize oil, the CIA swooped in and they fucking got that guy out of office, and they allowed these Islamic, radicalists to start running the country.
He doesn't know. He butchered that in so many ways. First of all, the guy's name is Mohammed Mossadegh. That was in 1953. The CIA did go in there, did overthrow him. They put in this guy called the Shah, and Reza Pahlavi. And the Shah ran the country until 1979, and that's when the Islamic Revolution happened. But it was the oppression of the Western-backed puppet that led to the Islamic takeover in 1979. Because one of the only places where you could organize, where the government wasn't spying on you, was in mosques. And that's why Islamism came out as a dominant ideology. A Shia version, a Shia theocracy became the government 1979 and onwards.
Well, that's when Hezbollah started, right?
I don't know exactly when Hezbollah started, but the point is the country was doing fine before we monkeyed with it. And we monkeyed with it because they were not getting enough of the money from the...
Yeah, when they come for your dog's butts, there's literally nothing you can do to stop it. So what are you going to do? What are your dogs going to do? Not have butts? That would solve a lot of problems, but I don't know if it's an option for real.
Oil. So it was the British Petroleum Company, I think, put it into perplexity the story of Iran, their government being overthrown. I think it was in the 1950s. So when you see like how it all played out and why it is what it is today.
I love that Joe Rogan's sponsored by Perplexity and not Grok.
Jesus Christ, you'd be mad too.
Yeah.
And when you're mad and you're surrounded by bigger enemies that all have nuclear weapons, you don't even have nuclear weapons, wouldn't you be trying to make them? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying Iran should have nuclear weapons. I don't think anybody should have nuclear weapons.
But Israel gets to have them.
Allegedly.
Joe Rogan's a bitch, dude. Look at him. He's such a bitch.
The problem. Allegedly.
Everything's allegedly with them.
Allegedly.
Except for the genocide.
They don't officially have them.
Really, Joe?
Joe just walks past that one. He's like, la-di-da-di-da. What? Didn't hear that.
Really?
G-word?
Right. I don't think they admit they officially have them. And you know who was a big opponent of Israel getting nuclear weapons?
JFK.
That's what happened recently when Theo Von was on Rogan's show. He also told him, like, hey, man, you got to calm down, bro. You got to come hang out with us at the mothership, bro, because you're sort of losing your mind by, like, saying facts about world events. Ready for this? So finally, after this new thing that Joe said, where Theo wasn't even there, this wasn't even Theo's face, this was behind Theo's back, talking about his mental health and how he's struggling and this and that. Theo chimes in and he says, this is mostly cap. Sad to see this kind of stuff. I'm doing great. I'm a human being, which is a rocky ride, but I'm doing fine, thanks. In other words, hey, shut the fuck up, friend.
Bitch.
Shut the fuck up. Okay? So guys, and we'll do another story on this tomorrow, but it's getting awkward, bro. It's getting awkward because Rogan's friends have fully and completely turned on Trump and they're done with him. And Rogan is still not only on Team Trump, he's like an insider now. He like talks to him, he texts with him, he talks to him on the phone. He's going to be at the fucking UFC fight on the lawn of the White House. He's shaking his hand. He was just there at the White House doing a signing thing for a new policy. So it's getting awkward, bro. It's getting awkward. And what I see here is some of Rogan's friends are now like, this is like, all right, I'm going to distance myself a little bit from you. People who were solidly in that Rogan sphere, who you thought would never go anywhere, they're now looking at Rogan going, you're whack, you're washed. Now you're talking shit about my mental health behind my back. I'm going to distance myself. Like, I don't even want to be close with you like that anymore.
Dude, the Joe Rogan downfall is going to taste so sweet, right? Oh, my goodness. Ooh, I'm going to savor that.
That's what I'm getting out of this. Calling him out directly, being like, hey, shut the fuck up and stop talking about me, bitch. That's what this is. So it's not looking good for old Joe out there, bro. And again, we'll talk more tomorrow about Andrew Schultz, Tim Dillon, what they've been saying, but Theo is not happy.
Yeah, he's got a big old fake Band-Aid. He probably doesn't even have a cut under that little Band-Aid.
And he's calling out Joe directly now.
Prop.
All right, y'all. That's the show, man. I love y'all very much. Everybody do me a big favor. Subscribe to the channel and click that bell icon.
Bro, Kyle Kuklinski, this fucking wooden American flag behind you gotta go. That shit lame, bro. Ashton Forbes is live.
It's not even the
What's he
argument
talking about?
against the Casimir effect
How much
from
he
the
hates
experts.
immigrants.
So number one, that doesn't even make sense. Happy to listen to any clarification she wants to try to make. Number two, the Casimir effect does show that you can extract 0 point energy. It's very important to be specific. It does show you can extract 0 point energy. Why? If there are two plates here and they suddenly come together, that's work. That's energy. Where is that energy coming from? You can explain it however you want. The explanation is 0 point energy modes are pushed out by the boundary. Therefore, there's a pressure.
Stephen Brody Stevens, is that the shooter at the Islamic Center?
So in a very real sense, that pressure, that plates coming together is 0 point energy doing work. Okay? Are you still with me? Pretty simple. That proves that you can extract 0 point energy. Now, the real argument, I'll help Sabine out here because she doesn't seem to know where it's at. The real argument then becomes, yes, well, okay, let's assume you can extract 0 point energy. Now, if you want to do it again, though, you got to pull these plates apart. And however far you pull them apart is going to exactly equal however much new energy you gain. Right? So if you're going to do it again and try to make this process repeatable, it's always going to balance out to 0. It's always going to be, and that's true. It'll always balance out to 0 in a simplistic setup using two plates like that with no other parameters.
Yeah, are those... I think those are foil Pokemon cards behind him or something.
But that's why Sonny White built in an asymmetry into a microchip. A waterfall into a microchip. You say it doesn't have anything to do with Casimir. It does. It does, because the Casimir effect shows we can extract 0 point energy. So what we're then realizing is if this is possible, if 0 point, like, just think of it like this. Why do the plates come together at all? If 0 point energy doesn't exist, the plates should just stay there and not come together. So 0 point energy exists. That's the breakthrough for the Casimir effect. End of discussion. We don't need it to be a perpetual extraction machine. We're going to do it a different way. Like, I seriously don't understand how people can't understand this or figure this out. This is not complicated. This is very simple stuff. You do an experiment, you do a proof of concept, it proves a concept.
Oh.
And we have reporters covering every angle of this story. Let's start with ABC 10 News anchor Max Goldwasser right now live at the scene. Hi, Max.
Yeah, Kimberly, the scene that we are at right now is on Lair Drive. This is about a mile and a half from where the mass shooting took place at the Islamic Center. And for the last 2 to 3 hours, at least since I've been here on scene, we have seen officers, members of the Joint Terrorism Task Force, made up of the FBI, SDPD, and Border Patrol.
Where's Paul, dude? This is probably Paul right here.
Surveying this blue home just off of my left shoulder. This is the home that they have linked to one of those suspects, the 17-year-old suspect, one of the two who were found dead in their car about a mile.
They were 17? What? 2 17-year-olds?
Mile and a half from this scene as well. I'm told they did speak with the homeowners. The homeowners have been cooperating. In fact, I did see 2 of them leave the scene about an hour ago, which they were free to do, I'm told. But before that happened, the lieutenant did share with me that the residents told him they have a 17-year-old son. We know one of the suspects was 17. And as Kimberly was mentioning just before the top of our show, that police learned 2 hours before the shooting took place. They had been trying to track down one of the shooters after getting a call from one of the shooter's mother referencing missing weapons from the family safe, hate rhetoric, and a note left on one of the computers inside their home.
Of course. Oh my God. Did they lay the whole plan out?
And all of that is believed to have happened inside this home on Lair Drive. Now, in the meantime, I haven't seen much movement. No law enforcement officers or investigators have gone inside or outside of the home. They are awaiting a search warrant. But in the meantime, I spoke to the neighbors who live right next door. They live next to the family for about 20 years now, and they told me they were aware of the mass shooting happening, as is everyone in this community by now, but they were shocked to come home and see this here.
And then we saw on the news and we go, oh my God, and then we come here and we go, what in the world's going on?
Did you make that connection between that and this?
No, just now we found out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I can't believe it.
And
I
then
wonder
when
if it's
you happened to say the neighbors, I said, what?
Yeah, that was Ted and Marn Salaya. As you can
Not crisis actors.
see, they are
I says, what?
very surprised. They tell me the family was very nice to them and has been since they've lived here. They even brought Marnay a cake for her 80th birthday, and the 17-year-old, the suspect in this shooting, she tells me multiple times it helped her bring groceries into her home. So not expected, to say the least, for all of this.
It's my big girl, Mushka. It's okay, big girl. Look at everyone. Say hi. Okay. She a big girl, dude.
It's happening right next door to their home. And as far as the investigation goes, like I said, we have yet to see any officers go inside or out of the home. They are awaiting for that search warrant. We do have more details that we've learned in the last several minutes, thanks to that press conference we just heard from Police Chief Scott Wall, but that search warrant should reveal a lot more here on Lair Drive. Reporting live, Max Goldwasser, ABC 10 News.
Yeah, those details forthcoming. Thank you, Max, for the live update.
So this is the new Columbine.
All right, we're going back live to San Diego. This is the site of the shooting at the Islamic Center. Law enforcement is speaking now. They're holding a press conference. Let's listen in.
This is a city's and a community's absolute worst nightmare as a free society. And I appreciate all of your patience as we try to work through what he had. After speaking with the mom began to piece together bits and pieces of information over an extended period of time.
The mom ratted?
The information that she was gathering and conveying to us began to elevate the threat level that we were perceiving with this information. She believed her son was suicidal. and she began to share information that several of her weapons were missing. Her vehicle was missing, in addition to her son. She also said that her son was with a companion, and that they were dressed in camo, and that is not
Yeah, boys, smash that like if you be liking.
consistent with
No pressure.
what we would typically see from somebody that is suicidal.
Yeah. Why would they run away for 2 blocks before self-blickying? It don't make no
Began
sense.
to trigger a larger threat assessment picture. Our threat management unit began to take the tips and leads that we had and utilize the technology we have available to us. Our license plate readers was at the top of that list. We began to have, we noted that there were hits with the vehicle down in Fashion Valley. We dispatched officers into the area of the mall as a possible location that was a threat. We also gathered information that one of the individuals was associated in some form.
These damn shedding cats, bro. I feel like I got hair all over me.
Form or fashion with Madison High School. We alerted school police department, and we dispatched officers into the area of Madison High School.
Anyway. Oh yeah, tiny mushroom people, mushrooms. Let's watch this.
What would you do if you looked down on your plate and saw tiny people running across your food?
Bro, what the
And not a hallucination you can ignore, but full-on little tiny humanoid creatures moving through your world like they belong there. Because this is actually happening to hundreds of people every year, and it all starts with a mushroom.
Mushka's like watching the screen like it's the first time she's noticed that there's like a person in the TV screen.
Not psilocybin, not amanita, a completely different species.
I think she sees me too in the OBS monitor. She's like, "What the fuck?"
That scientists don't fully understand.
Oh.
Do you know people who've gotten poisoned by it? Yep. Yeah. And what do they say? What happened?
She said at the time she was like in Wonderland.
So after hearing about this tiny people mushroom phenomena, I wanted to know what was actually real, or just one of those weird internet myths. So I spoke to a researcher who's been on the forefront of studying this mushroom.
Dude,
and he told me something.
These mushrooms look cool as fuck, bro. They're like purple, gray, and yellow. Hell yeah.
Interesting. In parts of China, this isn't some rare hidden psychedelic. Deep in the Yunnan province, there's a mushroom called Lanmaoa asiatica. Looks harmless, tastes amazing apparently. Packed with that rich umami flavor people love.
For a long time, there's been these anecdotal and anthropological reports.
They're so cool looking. Those are pretty ass mushrooms, bro.
A psychoactive mushroom that
Mushka is looking at these mushrooms like she's interested in them. She's like,
is from the bolete family of mushrooms, which is very different from the psilocybin or the amanita, which are the main known groups of psychoactive mushrooms. So this is a very unique family of mushrooms that's easily distinguished by having like pores on the underside of the cap rather than gills. But it's really speciose. There's about 2,000 species in the family. So there were these reports originally from Papua New Guinea, local people consuming these wild bolete mushrooms and then afterwards sort of behaving wildly. And it was dubbed mushroom madness. And folks like Gordon Wasson and Albert Hoffman investigated this in the 60s. And they concluded that there wasn't any pharmacologically active substance. And it was all just a cultural drama. Fast forward a few decades later, in the 1990s and up to present time, now we have these reports from Southwest China which is, fairly distant from Papua New Guinea and a completely different sort of biota there, of also bolete mushrooms causing these same types of hallucinations of seeing little people, which was also reported in Papua New Guinea. And, we didn't know what species this was or if they were the same species.
Bro, I want to see little people.
Species are different. And so that was really where my research started, just trying to first identify what is the mushroom that's causing this. Is it does it have a real material basis? And so by going to China and sampling these mushrooms and then bringing them back to our lab and doing DNA analysis and chemical analysis, we were able to identify the species. But the thing is that there's many lookalikes. But then the real nail in the coffin that arose just a couple of years ago was hearing these same reports of wild bolete mushrooms causing hallucinations of little people were emerging from the Philippines. So now this is our third.
Yeah, Andy Dick is going to buy us a fucking abandoned Tartarian Catholic church, and we're going to set up a compound there. Andy Dick. And we're going to rehabilitate Andy Dick.
Independent cultural report of this phenomenon. And so I went there, met with this community, and they took me around the forest and collected the mushrooms that they said caused this, brought them back to our lab, and it was really exciting when we got the DNA sequence results back. It turned out to be the exact same species as in China, and it was not known to occur outside of China. So that to me was like, okay, this is, there's some real material basis to this, that the same species in two independent areas is causing the same hallucinations. There's a lot of different symptoms people have from this, of course, but the one that seems to be most repetitive is that
10-minute warning.
Visual hallucinations include seeing little people, and this is a clinically defined.
Dude, yeah, I know. What's even the point of these mass shootings? I feel like they aren't effective anymore, and they honestly don't lead to anything. So I don't know, just general chaos at this point, keeping people confused. I don't know, man. They're like not even used for good, like deliberate things anymore. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm surprised that they haven't done like a mass shooting at like a synagogue, like a real one that's not like a guy drove his car through the front door and then killed himself. You know what I mean? No one in the video has actually tried the mushies. They just researching them. That's okay. Why wouldn't he eat them though? The fuck? What's the point? Why? That's what I don't get. I don't understand how you talk about this shit and you're not doing it. What do you mean? What's the point? Why are you interested in it if you aren't trying to fucking see the little people?
Condition that's arisen in cases outside of mushrooms as well. Like people in dementia or alcohol withdrawal sometimes get this. And it's characterized by seeing hundreds of little people in your environment. They're always described as being three-dimensionally rendered in exquisite detail. These aren't some like nebulous.
Bro, how are you not trying these shits?
Morphing shapes or something. These are like real figures that people see.
It could last up to a week? No way. That's a nightmare.
And they're interacting with the real world, like climbing up chairs and tables, or, jumping into someone's bowl of soup, someone told me in China, and then they would scoop them up in the spoon and they would stay swimming in the liquid. So they're very, seem to be integrated with the real world, which is very bizarre.
Wow.
And yeah, this was
that is bizarre.
Reported in multiple cultures. So it seems to be some sort of deep neurological basis here, but we don't know what that is.
Imagine sitting in a hot pot restaurant and the waiter comes along with some mushrooms and sets a timer, and he goes, "Don't eat these mushrooms until this timer goes off, otherwise you will see tiny people for days." And the customers are just like, Okay. This is so common in the culture that people treat it like, don't touch the stove, it's hot. Don't eat these mushrooms before the timer goes off or you'll hallucinate tiny people.
Oh, you can cook it out of it?
How do the locals interpret this phenomena compared to maybe scientists?
They say, you know, you have to cook it for 15 to 20 minutes, and even they sell it in restaurants, and, you know, they bring out a timer and put that on your table. If you're having hot pot or something, like, say, don't eat until this timer goes off, or you might see little people. But yeah, it's very well known there. I asked one of the people in China who spoke English, you know, why do you keep eating this if it has this psychoactive effect, and you can...
What do you mean? That's the point.
Consider that undesirable, you know, they're not like seeking this out. And he replied simply because, you know, it's poisonous, but it's delicious. So it's just a delicious poison that apparently that's their perspective.
Yeah, I don't want to see him for a week.
As far as I can tell.
So you want poisonous?
Okay, yeah, completely different culture, right? I feel like if in the West, if we discovered that portobello's, if you undercook it and it just makes you hallucinate, it would just be completely banned immediately, I feel.
It's like in, you know, psilocybin mushrooms were eaten in the West before they were known to be like psychoactive, and people just consider them poisonous. Back like in the 1800s and things like that. So it's interesting, and now they're sought out.
If you don't go to the hospital, then it lasts 2 days.
And you recover?
If you go to the hospital and you get proper treatment, then it's okay. Like, for example, in my family, we've never had any trouble. But some people, like, even at one table, we have dinner together. Like, one of them might suffer poison, but the rest will be okay.
Very weird.
It's like a mystery.
Every year, doctors in Yunnan gets flooded with patients, and they all say the same thing. Not, I feel weird, not, I'm tripping. They go, there are tiny people everywhere, and the descriptions line up way too perfectly. Crawling up walls, marching under doors, running across plates, climbing onto clothes. Some people see dozens at once, even with their eyes closed. They're still there, clear, structured, alive, indistinguishable from reality. This isn't folklore anymore. Scientists have a name for this: Lilliputian hallucinations, named after Gulliver's Travels, where tiny people live on an island. But here's where it gets unsettling. This phenomenon has been reported in China, in Papua New Guinea, in the Philippines. Different cultures, different environments. Same exact hallucination. Tiny human-like beings. Little trickster elves. You'd assume it's just another psychedelic, right? DMT, psilocybin, something familiar. Nope. Scientists have tested it. No known psychedelic compounds. Let that sink in. This mushroom is doing something to the brain that we don't even understand yet. And even worse, this trip doesn't just last a few hours. It can last for days, sometimes up to a week, with delirium, confusion, and sometimes hospitalization. This isn't a vibe, this is a forced reality shift.
I think the fact that it has this effect is what's most fascinating. However we end up describing it or explaining it, I don't think that will diminish the astonishment of the experience itself. I think that's kind of what got me into this in the first place, was it seemed like an impossibility from our worldview that, like, you know, you can eat a mushroom growing in nature and then see little people crawling around your bedroom. That sounds like a fairy tale or a fantasy or something like that. It doesn't sound like it's possible.
Yeah,
the
interacting with the environment thing is the coolest aspect, because that means that there's like either they're really there or there's some sort of processing going on. Like your brain's making them appear on things and interact with things in 3D. That's crazy.
Wanted to explore and see if it was real, and you know, I haven't eaten it myself.
This dude is if Walt Jr. grew up and became a mushroom expert who was too scared to eat the mushrooms that he's studying. Shut up, Dad. We love Walt Jr.
Undercooked. I've eaten it in meals and things like that, but it seems like it definitely is a real thing. The effects apparently last like 3 to 5 days long on average, and so it's yeah.
Wow.
And then they say some cases people are like having hallucinations for like a week plus. So it's like a really weird duration.
Because I was like considering maybe I should just explore this and see how it is, but I don't know, a week, that sounds pretty full on.
I will say that in all the hospital reports from China, there's been no reported deaths. And they measured like vital organ function of patients who were affected by this mushroom, and it was completely normal. So it seems to be, on one hand, physiologically safe, but on the other hand, something that's like, having this really serious long-term, not long-term, but, extended effects. So it's no trivial thing to undertake. I'd have to clear my schedule.
Now, this is what messes with me, because psychedelics are usually chaotic. Or the nerd way of saying it is that they're non-specific amplifiers of consciousness, which is just another way of saying that it amplifies what's within. And what's within is going to be different for everybody depending on
Happy
setting.
9/11!
You guys know. Your trip is your trip. Like, yeah, sure, there's a lot of consistencies, but not everyone who takes mushrooms is going to experience the same thing. Is not going to encounter the exact same entities. But this?
One sec.
It's consistent. Across different people, across different countries, across different decades. People see the same thing. Tiny beings. Not random, not abstract, specific.
Is there any like folklore or indigenous tribes using this for like ceremonial?
Well, the beaver wakes up in the morning, sore from all yesterday's chewing.
Oh my god. And it froze. Hold on, I'm fixing. Meat moop, blorp, blorp. This is a little song about beavers.
Wakes up in the morning, sore from all yesterday's chewing. But he gets back on the tree, cause believe you me, busy beaver's got work to be doing. He's a rodent engineer on the loose. Got paws up front and wet feet and a caboose, and everybody's just blown away. Must have that damn in his DNA. Beaver one, beaver all, let's all do the beaver call, go beaver. Now beaver's got a big fat tail, it's a bona fide beaver paddle. Slaps the water on the spot and that's a warning shot, cause you don't wanna go to beaver battle. I wonder why the beaver stacks, it's cause bears like a beaver snack. And if the big guy gives you a hassle, sometimes the best thing to do is build a big damn castle. Beaver one, beaver all, let's all do the beaver call, go beaver. Making wetlands that no fire can touch, for the fishes and the frogs and the deers and the ducks and oasis. Protection from drought, helping the whole big forest out. Ooh, wham bam, build a dam, beaver doing what he can. Now the beaver's got 2 big teeth, and the iron in him makes him orange. That's a beaver fact, you can put it in your pack full of fascinating beaver lore. And the beaver's as proud as can be, comes from a regal beaver pedigree. There once was an ancient prehistoric 7-foot beaver. That's what made me into a beaver believer. Beaver one.
Dude, Jesse's going to jail for this song.
Beaver all, let's all do the beaver call, go beaver.
I love this song. Dude, singing about beavers and not talking about beavers, you know what I mean, is fucking hilarious. This song's incredible. Wait, I need it one more time. A beaver believer, bro.
Well, the beaver wakes up in the morning, sore from all yesterday's chewing. But he gets back on the tree, cause believe you me, busy beaver's got work to be doing. He's a rodent engineer on the loose. Got paws up front and wet feet and a caboose, and everybody's just blown away. Must have that damn in his DNA. Beaver one, beaver all, let's all do the beaver call. Go beaver. Now beaver's got a big fat tail. It's a bona fide beaver paddle. Slaps the water on the spot, and that's a warning shot, cause you don't want to go to beaver battle. People wonder why the beaver stacks. It's cause bears like a beaver snack. And if the big guy gives you a hassle, sometimes the best thing to do is build a big damn castle. Beaver one, beaver all, let's all do the beaver call. Go beaver. Making wetlands that no fire can touch, for the fishes and the frogs and the deers and the ducks, and oasis, protection from drought, helping the whole big forest out. Ooh, wham bam, build a dam, beaver doing what he can. Now the beaver's got 2 big teeth, and the iron in 'em makes 'em orange. That's a beaver fact, you can put it in your pack full of fascinating beaver lore. And the beaver's as proud as can be, comes from a regal beaver pedigree. There once was an ancient prehistoric 7-foot beaver. That's what made me into a beaver believer. Beaver one, beaver all, let's all do the beaver call. Go beaver.
Okay, can't start again,
Well,
so I'll
the
listen
beaver
to it
wakes up
again. Oh man, I'm a fucking beaver believer now. Hold on, I want to see beaver facts.
This episode is sponsored by Curiosity Stream, smart TV for your smart TV. This is a beaver. You've probably heard of their dam building and tree cutting. Jerry, what's wrong with this beaver? He's not even trying. Look at him, he's drunk. Oh, that's better. It's a baby beaver. They're very cute. However, aside from humans, no other living animal does more to modify its environment for its own purposes. Beavers like it wet, and they are very good at making things wet. But
Bro, calm down. You better calm the fuck down on this beaver factoid video.
when? How does the beaver, and why does it beave? Here are true facts about the beaver. To understand the beaver, you should know that it is a rodent. Rodents are the furry little meatballs of the field and forest. Just the right size for a snack.
Yeah, all of Dave Matthews' songs are about beavers too. That's so funny. Yep, true. Dave do love beavers.
Who among us has not wanted to beer batter a hamster at some point? Guilty. Those flies are waiting for the cafeteria to open.
Why that motherfucker got flies all over him?
So, being delicious, one thing that rodents became very good at is hiding. Old school beavers weren't into all this swimming and tree cutting business, but they could sure piss you off in a game of hide and seek. Look at this thing. When people first discovered it, they didn't know what it was. They called it the devil's corkscrew, because apparently the devil has big bottles of wine. Personally, I think devil's bicycle seat or devil's catheter would have been more devil-appropriate. You know what it is? It's the fossilized tunnel of Paleocastor, a beaver that lived 20 million years ago. See?
Dude, they dig down in spirals? That's so cute.
Good at hiding. At some point, the ancestor of the modern beaver
They make spiral staircases.
got into swimming. It's a good way to escape predators, especially if you're a clumsy, waddling football of flesh. On land, the beaver isn't exactly graceful, but in the water, it is exactly graceful. Its paddle tail, which is more flexible than a cat's, becomes a rudder. They tuck their little hands up under their chin and let their big webbed feet do the swimming. Underwater, a thin...
Yeah, they got feet in the front and what did he say? Paddles in the back.
see-through membrane covers their eyes. Their nostrils close up, and they have extra flesh on the inside of their lips that can close behind their front teeth. This allows them to carry things and even eat down there without getting a mouthful of water. It's just like my mother used to say, you try and find an open orifice on an underwater beaver. Good luck with that.
Yeah, they are fucking cute, dude. And look, they're little fucking menaces. You know what? Chunks, my squirrel, should volunteer to be a beaver. This is what Chunks be doing up in my fucking roof.
that happened along the way was that beavers developed a taste for wood. Now, anyone can get a taste for wood, but to actually eat it is another matter. You need the right equipment, and rodent
Wait, they literally eat the wood? No way.
teeth are the right equipment. Let me explain. There are two main hard substances in a tooth, dentin and enamel. In our teeth, dentin helps anchor the tooth, and enamel forms a little cap that sticks out of our gums. Enamel is incredibly hard, the hardest thing our body makes, shush now, and it protects our teeth from wear and tear and forms a chewing surface. Enamel is made from densely packed crystals of a mineral called hydroxyapatite. That's right, our teeth are made from something called apatite. That's like a dad joke time bomb. But you can't just fart a crystal out. It's a whole process. Special cells called ameloblasts crawl around and leave a little snail trail of proteins behind them.
Cool.
Crystals then grow on these proteins. See those little cross-hatched lines? Each one of those lines was
That's what our fucking teeth look like?
created by a single ameloblast cell. Up close, enamel is like a woven tapestry of crystal. So
that's cool.
When teeth grow in your mouth hole, dentin is formed and enamel is layered on top of it. But when they're done, the cells that make enamel self-destruct and disappear. And that's it. If you break your enamel, you can't grow any back. That's okay for us because we
That's fucking horseshit, bro.
eat relatively soft things like delicious meats and cheeses. But other animals like horses have to really chew the shit out of their food. And
Bro, have you guys ever had that where you're chewing and there's something in it that you're not expecting? I once had my brother, what was it? I think duck. He hunts and he got a couple duck and we were eating it and I fucking bit into a BB, dude. There's nothing like that's like the weirdest thing ever because you're not expecting your teeth to stop and it's like an immediate stop. It sent like an electric bolt through my body. Ugh, dude, fuck that.
they would wear through our little enamel nubbins in no time. The enamel in horse teeth is laid out in sort of tube-like shapes that run up the length of the tooth.
Yo, this is Paul's teeth.
These are long teeth that slowly emerge as the
Paul
horse
got long
ages.
teeth.
Here you can see the teeth of a young,
Yo!
healthy horse. I mean, not that healthy. Its flesh is missing, and it's been cut in half. But healthy before that. Anyway, here is
Nightmare.
an old horse, and you can see that the teeth are almost completely gone. This horse won't be able to eat much longer because it's lost its appetite. That's it. So what about rodent teeth? Well, we'll get to that after a brief message about our sponsor. Gas freezing. A little curious. Where were we? Teeth don't have. Oh, right. ZayFrank and use code ZayFrank to sign up. Just $14.99 for the whole year. I'm a fan and happy to have them as a sponsor. Where were we? Oh, right. Rodents have some next-level toothage. Their front teeth never stop growing, and their enamel-producing cells don't self-destruct. These teeth don't have a root like ours do, but they start crazy far back in the head. These front teeth have two basic layers, dentin in the back and enamel in the front. But right on the front surface, there is a thin layer of enamel that has iron incorporated into it. This is what makes it orange, but it also makes it extra hard. And because of this, the front of the tooth wears down more slowly than the back. And you know what that means? Their teeth are essentially a self-sharpening chisel. Look at that right there. This one's sort of shaving strips of wood with his bottom teeth. Now, beavers only eat a very
That's crazy, dude.
thin layer on the outside of the tree. That's the living tissue where the nutrients are. And they prefer smaller, tender branches and even leaves. But they
do eat the wood. That's crazy. I didn't know that.
Go through the ones they can reach and that are close to the safety of water fairly quickly. To get to the higher branches, they couldn't be bothered to learn how to climb, like basically every other rodent. Beaver was all like, I don't go to branches, friggin' branches come to me. So when beavers cut down trees, they're not eating that part of the tree. They're just bringing the good stuff closer to the ground. Now to begin, beavers will usually make a deep cut on one side. It's like a game of chicken between a tree and a beaver head, to the death. If unsquished, the beaver will move to the other side to finish up. They listen carefully for any cracking sounds to make sure they can waddle away slowly to safety.
He just starts waddling away all slow.
Now, there's a scientist that suggests that beavers can actually control the direction of the tree fall, planning the cuts so the trees fall toward the water where the beaver is safe. But it's not clear if this research was peer-reviewed. Jerry, that's a typo. It's peer-reviewed. No, I'm not saying the same thing. I'm saying peer, like someone in the same field. No, they're not peeing in a field, Jerry. No one's peeing. Just leave it. Once the tree is horizontal, the beaver will start cutting branches down to size.
And then the beavers cut the trees down and bring all the pieces. That's crazy. They're little, dude, they're little builders.
Dragging them back to the water. There they will eat them or submerge them and store them for later. Remember, it's just a thin layer on the outside that they eat, so there's a lot of stick garbage left over and lying around. One idea is that beavers evolved a set of fairly simple instincts about what to do with all those sticks. One instinct that even baby beavers have is pile stuff on top of other stuff. And just that can have some perks. Here, look at this big bank with a beaver hole in it. Starts off as just a regular old tunnel in the dirt. Then they start piling sticks on the ground above. A little weird, but that's enough to prevent the ground from freezing where they sleep. And when the dirt roof of their little tunnel collapses, they've got a wood roof. But it's not just a pile of sticks. They have an instinct to fill in gaps and smooth things out. They bring in piles of mud with their little hands and pack it all in there. But they don't do this on the part that's furthest from the water, creating some airflow. Let's face it, beavers can get a bit musky, and they keep at it. If the water rises, they can build up higher, and pretty soon they're not living in the dirt. They're living in a stick condominium. They can build these homes out in the middle of a pond too. They don't build it around themselves like a bird's nest. Same basic rules, build a pile, pack it in, and then tunnel into it and make yourself some rooms. It's cozy in there. I know what you're thinking. What is that beaver doing? Well, that beaver's eating chili right out the can, so to speak. You see, the problem with eating wood is that it's wood. It's not like a ding-dong with a creamy center. I mean, it's actually freaking wood. So to digest it, the beaver has to eat it twice. After the first go-round, I guess it still has some flavor. Like if you found some...
No, they don't. No, they don't eat their own poop, bro. Right out of the fucking... It's an Ouroboros, bro. Intestinal Ouroboros? Stop.
Leftover chewing gum that had been in your ass. So not only do beavers have to chew the crap out of their food, they have to chew the food out of their crap. All right, I'm done. Anyway, that's what they do, and the end product is essentially sawdust. But that's not all that comes out the back of a beaver. They have anal glands, and I'm not talking about glands that get uptight when you're late for a party. I'm talking about glands in their anus that produce an oily substance that the beavers rub all over their body.
Yo, these beavers be doing a lot.
It's like when you waterproof your shoes with a bit of oil.
But with your ass.
This comes out of their butt. Those back paws there, by the way, have a special grooming claw on them. It has 2 nails on it, like a really cheap comb, but it helps get that butt oil all up in there.
And dude, he's loving it. Look at this face he's making. He's like, oh, yeah.
Not all. There's
yeah, Jesse buried the lead with the beaver facts, bro.
A tap on that backside soda fountain. They have casters.
Yeah, bro, how is Jesse not going to bring up the fact that they eat their own booty cheese? Ass-flavored gum. Beavers eat their own ass. Yeah, dude. Yeah, and then they waterproof their bodies with booty oil. They're obsessed with their booties, bro.
Sacs near the base of their tail, which produces castoreum. It's a yellowish goo they use for scent marking. Beavers build these little piles around their territory. They climb up on them and they sort of fart out some castoreum. Told you. You get a whiff of that, you know whose turf it is. It's also how
it looked yellow. Did you see that shit?
Females communicate that they are ready to mate. Apparently, castoreum smells and tastes kind of sweet and leathery, and it's been used in perfumes and food. Someone was the first person to figure that
nightmare
out. Guys, check this out. The stuff that comes out of a beaver's ass tastes just like vanilla. Anyway, what beavers do inside their own home is their business. Oh my. You could open a beer with that yawn. It's very cozy in there, but... Sorry, it's very cozy in there, but if you live in a house that's half underwater, you're gonna have to deal with leaks. Beavers are very...
This video is funny as fuck, dude.
Very sensitive to the movement and sound of water where it's not supposed to be. And when they find a leak, they do it right. They go round to the outside to fix it. The sound of water also seems to be an important trigger for dam building. It's not the constant sound of rushing water, but rather the uneven burbling of water moving over an obstruction.
Bro, beavers fucking hate rivers in particular. I love that they're always trying to stop these rivers.
Under the right conditions, when beavers hear this sort of sound, they seem to want to stop it. First, they'll put a pile of sticks right at the source of the sound.
Dude, they're literally just doing it. They're just doing it because they want to sleep at night and they don't want to hear the sound. They're a bunch of fucking what are they called? Nimbies? Yimbies?
On the downstream side, they'll pin some larger branches as cross braces against the current. Then on the upstream side, they'll pack it in with finer materials. Sound familiar? So this mini dam is now on top of the source of the original sound. But the water goes around it and makes new pockets of sound. So the beaver beeves and the rest of the dam gets built. It's almost like you could think of dam building as the plugging of a very large leak. You know what some people do? They play water sounds through loudspeakers to try to trick beavers into building dams in specific places.
That's so fucking funny.
Got some time on your hands if you're messing with beavers like that. These dams can flood massive areas. This extends the beaver's territory, but it also stabilizes the water level and creates a predictable environment. Most rodents don't really have these kinds of predictable environments, so they make lots of babies as a kind of insurance and they don't invest a lot in raising them. That often means high infant mortality. But beavers took matters into their own little creepy hands and evolved to control their environment. So they do it different. They form monogamous pairs, often for life. And they
stop, dude. They got little beaver families.
They care for their babies for a couple of years.
Bro, beavers might be the coolest animals. How did I not know that beavers were this? I mean, I knew beavers were fucking rad, but all the anal stuff and this is so fucking cute. Bro, beavers, I love how much beavers hate bubbling water, so they create more sources of bubbling water. Incredible. Great minds.
And this
Look
is
at
important.
this cute ass little tiny beaver.
Because the instincts in young beavers need to be refined by watching and learning from their parents. Their first attempts at dam building are pure crap, and their first lodges are like the first apartments that kids get after college. You know, there's a lava lamp, a futon, and a half-eaten bagel. And the futon's so gross you choose to sit on the bagel. And he's all like, "Where's my bagel?" And you've got explaining to do. But over time, these young beavers will learn how to build incredible... Oh my gosh, did you see that? The big beaver took...
He bit his dad's ass.
The stick and the little one headbutted him. Jerry, did you see it? It was a real headbutt. He used his head on his butt. Play it again, Jerry. No, don't fade it out. Oh, you're still mad about the peer review thing, aren't you? No, Jerry, I do understand what you heard. You heard peer, like one who pees, right?
Dude. Beavers are the coolest. Fucking A, bro.
It would need 3 E's in it. P-er. What? Seer? Oh, that's interesting. Seer is sort of like what you're saying. But hold on, Jerry. The bigger point here is that you thought urination was somehow part of scientific review. What did you think peer review was? Well, Jerry, that's not so.
Think we'll get in trouble? This is, it's BBC. Fuck. Oh! It paused. I'm fixing. The beaver. The beaver is beaving, bro. Alright, here we go.
At the foot of the Teton Mountains in Wyoming.
This is probably risky to watch this. It's BBC.
While beavers can get around perfectly well on land, they're most...
Yeah, honey badgers are cool. They don't give a fuck, bro. The badger was the mascot for UW-Madison. Bucky Badger.
at home in the water, where their webbed hind feet and large paddle-like tail make them powerful swimmers above and below the surface.
Yo, we're pivoting to National Geographic focus channel. This is way better. Or honestly, Beaver specific channel. The Beaver Dad show. Beav Dad show. That's what we're doing.
like Mom.
Yeah, Beaver Vanilla Factory is just a bunch of old ladies expressing beaver anal glands.
Beavers feed on all kinds of vegetation and eat wood as well as leaves.
Yeah, we're watching Beaver on BBC.
And they're
This is Justin Bieber.
Accomplished engineers. This great pond is entirely their own creation.
Yeah, you hear that, Paul? It's all about beavers now. Bro, Paul wouldn't know what to do with a beaver if it slapped him in his face.
Only a few years ago, this shallow, pebbly stream flowed straight down the valley. Then a family of beavers moved in and built a dam. The main body of it is built of boulders. On the downstream side, it's been lined with logs, some of them.
Bro, these beeves got a this is a big ass dam, bro. This is like 4 feet of water up.
And quite heavy. And on this side, it's been packed with mud and vegetation.
Bro, this is a giant span. Beavers are wild for this shit.
It's been built so accurately that it is to within a few inches horizontal across its entire length of about 150 yards from one side to the other. And the lake it's created stretches upstream for almost a mile.
Bro, beaver don't give a fuck. This is awesome. Beaver said, fuck this river in particular, making lake.
So important is their dam to them that if they detect the slightest leak, usually by hearing the sound of trickling water, they start repair work immediately.
This is so awesome. Ah, caught that one immediately. Poor Justin Bieber. His dam keeps breaking down. Yo, dude, a dog would love helping a beaver for the day. Oh my god, can you imagine a beaver dog duo? This would be incredible.
Mud is needed as well as logs. The repair team will labor away until the leak.
Yeah, beavers got to be making their ecosystems better more than worse, I'm assuming, right? They water in the trees, giving a nice little water source for everyone. Dude, beavers be doing a lot.
Leak is fully repaired.
Bro, that's crazy that they eat their own poop straight out of their butts. That's hilarious. How do they know when they've eaten it the second or third time, you know? Bro, that's so funny. Oh, I guess it's just wood.
Keeping the water at a high level brings the beavers several advantages. One of which is that it floods the surrounding woodlands and so enables them to swim in safety to their main source of food.
Wood. Yo, they be making lakes out of everything because their fucking feet are so dumb on land. They're so bad at, they just waddle around. So they're like, I'm making everything lake and I refuse to live in the ocean. I prefer everything to be underwater, but I'm not going to an ocean or an already established lake. I'm making my own. Beavers are wild, bro. Ugh. Fuck. Dude, I felt better this morning. Why the fuck am I feeling worse?
off the bark from a fallen tree trunk and nibble at it while still being close enough to water to slip away should a bear or a mountain lion turn up.
Yeah, mountain lions and bears there. Oh my god, it paused again. You motherfucker. Fixing. Bro, Paul is fucking with us massively tonight. Leave us alone, bro. We're just learning about beavers. We're not even doing anything bad.
They can swim by digging channels that lead into the very heart of the woodland. Here they can use their sharp incisor teeth to strip off the bark from a fallen tree trunk and nibble at it while still being close enough to water to slip away should a bear or a mountain lion turn up.
Dude, I see where Chunks gets it from, bro. You can tell they're related. Chunks and beavers are so related. And then, bro, think about, too, when everyone had to come and get a fucking beaver hat, right? Beaver skin? Wait, is that who they were? Is that what they were skinning? Was it beavers? All the fur trade? Was it beaver shit? Yeah, I think so, right? They came over and killed all of our fucking beeves, bro, so all of our dams disappeared. Bro, these beavers literally don't give a fuck about anything but wood. All they think about all day is wood, 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 wood. I'ma eat wood. I'ma chop wood. I'ma move wood. I'ma build with wood. I'ma make a fucking dam. 'Cause I hate water. I hate flowing water. I wish it was all just a frozen lake. But I don't want to live in a lake.
Their network of...
I used to date this guy that would try to turn on shows like this as background noise for trying to smash. And he's like, you and me, baby, ain't nothing but mammals, so let's do it like they do on the Discovery Channel. He's literally doing the fucking Bloodhound Gang. Was he Jimmy Popoff? And he would get so mad when I was more interested in the show. Dude, he tries to put on fucking David Attenborough talking about beavers while he's trying to smash. I'm definitely watching beavers, right?
Channels also enables them to ferry whole branches back to their pond.
Justin Bieber. He's a dreamer. He's gonna build that dam. Justin Bieber.
And there, where the water is deepest, they dive down and push each branch firmly into the mud at the bottom.
Incredible,
This
dude.
is the beaver's fridge, where the vegetation will keep fresh through the long winter when the pond is covered with ice.
Oh my god, they're geniuses.
Stocking the fridge takes a lot of work, and the beavers are at their busiest in autumn.
Yo! Timber! You think beavers yell timber? Look at these little busy beeves, bro. Alright, this is majestic as fuck, dude. And beavers! Beavers, famously not in the Epstein files. Yeah, beavers are allies, bro. Let's go. They're stocking the fuck out of the fridge.
At one side of the lake stands their lodge, a fortress built of branches and boulders that's so strong that not even a bear could break into it. The only entrance is through tunnels that open underwater, and the beavers take refuge here whenever they are alarmed.
Genius beavers.
That was a warning signal to say that danger was around, that's to say me. And now I may not see the beavers for some time. They can stay underwater for 5 minutes at a time, up to 15 if they need to. They can actually get back to the safety of their lodge without putting their head above the surface for a single second.
Dude, beavers
Most
are
lodges
fucking
have at least
awesome.
2 different entrances.
Yeah, dude, beavers are the most working class animals of all time. These guys don't stop.
By October, winter is well underway. But whereas marmots would now be hibernating, the beavers are still active and will remain that way throughout the winter.
They never quit, bro.
Even when the pond...
They're like, fuck this ice, I'm breaking this shit up.
Ice is over completely. They're still able to swim under the ice to get back and forth to their lodge. No one knew exactly what went on inside the lodge during winter, so when the beavers were away, we installed a couple of infrared cameras.
Bro, imagine just having an innate sense to chew the fuck out of trees and knock them over and then to eat your own shit and make dams. What the fuck? Where are they getting this information from?
Cameras in order to find out. A branch from the fridge is being brought back to the lodge for the whole family to feed on. And another. No wonder they don't need to hibernate with this ingenious setup. The lodge is warm and safe even in midwinter, and the only sign of activity in the snug home beneath the snow is hot air rising from the vent at the top. Inside, our cameras catch a glimpse of what, at first sight, looks like a very small beaver. It's a muskrat. There are a pair of them in here. This is a new observation. Do the beavers actually know in the pitch blackness that there are strangers among them? We noticed that the muskrats regularly left the lodge to forage under the ice. And on several occasions, they returned a few minutes later with a load of fresh reeds. Perhaps the muskrats are paying rent by regularly providing fresh bedding for the lodge. Maybe that is why the beavers accept them and even allow them to share their food. Our infrared lights, however, are no longer welcome, it seems.
Dude, they blocked them out. Incredible. Okay, beavers, massive friends of the show. Rescuing a baby beaver to feed Kevin. You're gonna feed the beaver to Kevin?
Doesn't know when to quit. Look at that guard. Here we're gonna try and plant some of those. Beaver eating the McChicken pho today. So I might plant some more in there. That's what Boo Boo will look like. I have 2 baby vultures in my garage. This one does not like me one bit. All right, everybody, we got another beaver for our little friend.
All right, boys, I think we might wrap up after this video, maybe a couple minutes early.
Another wildlife rehabber who had a baby beaver, and he does not specialize in them. He doesn't really have the facility. The crawfish literally live underground in these fields here in Texas. But these are axis deer, or also called chital deer. They're invasive here in Texas, and this is what they all look like. All of the males only have 3 points on their head. If we're lucky, that's what Boo Boo will look like when he gets older. But he's doing great work over here in way East Texas. And he said he's been getting a few beavers because of all the dang floods that they have out here. So now our little baby won't be a singleton anymore. Tomorrow.
Poor little buddy. His parents are probably so fucking worried. What the hell? Dude, baby beavers are so cute.
We're gonna drop the older juvenile beaver that had the arrow wound up at another rehabber's place up in Dallas. This little guy is a little bit older.
Oh my god! Dude, look at this. See his little mouth? Oh my god, he looks like he's got a little old man mouth. Oh, look at his little claw. Bro, stop. Night, Lori. We're going to bed too after this vid.
Well, he still needs to be on milk for a little bit. And these guys also gave me a ton of pickerel plants for our pond because they saw our videos about the pond. They saw how much dang algae I have in there. Beaver eating the McChicken pho today. Beaver nibbling on a flea pho today. We're here on the side of the road and there's a marsh here and this willow's grown in here. This is a perfect branch for these beavers to eat. I didn't kill the trees, you guys. I just took a bunch of branches and these were given to...
You can't kill willows too. Don't they just regrow? Anywhere?
By the beaver rehabber. I also got these little sapling pine trees here. We're gonna try and plant some of those, but look at this precious little baby.
Oh my god!
This could also be food for that adorable little creature. And with these 3 beautiful native flowers, this is my East Texas fall. Pretty nice, huh, guys? But in like 40 years, those trees will look like this. And we don't have any cool, tall trees in Waco, so hopefully they'll actually grow. Beaver.
Waco.
Eating the apple pho today. And as you guys can see, this little guy's already eating some solid foods, unlike that other little baby that we have. So this guy
They don't eat apples, dude. They eat shit.
should be able to teach that little guy how to eat. Look at this precious little fella eating an apple. Good heavens, I adore this animal. But we have a bunch of different little options for this little fella to eat on this car ride home. He has not been given any beaver milk replacer yet, so that's the biggest problem.
Bro, Waco. Why Sopal always chickens out?
Priority is getting him home so we can get him on there. He is still too young to be completely weaned. But oh my goodness, look at him.
This creature is perfect.
All right, everybody, we brought this guy back because the other rehabbers did not have this beaver formula. And according to my IWRC handbook, this little fella definitely needs to be eating a little bit more. But he is 2 pounds and 5 ounces. I'm gonna go ahead and do the math. Also, I got my little beaver shirt on, but I bought this a while ago thinking, oh man, I really hope we get the chance to use this. And luckily, there were 2 orphan beavers in Texas nearby from the people we know.
Look at him.
It never happens, you guys. Usually we have to give these guys...
Bro, beavers can't be this cute.
Away to another beaver rehabber that has them. And
Look at his tiny tail, his tiny beaver tail. Oh, this face, he's like...
Now we have 2. Oh, come on. No, sit up. Sit up, buddy. They do be laying on their sides when they're nursing with their mama in the log. So this footage was from a month ago. There's a lot of different methods to bottle feeding these guys. Some rehabbers don't even use any nipples at all. Now they're actually on a bottle. This little guy's drinking from a big bottle. Best case scenario is he starts pulling it himself so I don't have to actually push on the syringe at all. I'm trying out all the different nipples right now. See if this one works better. Okay, there we go. So now I'm trying it without any nipple at all because I've seen a lot of beaver rehabbers do this. And when they're smaller, this works just as well, if not potentially a little bit better, but it is a bit more messy. And later I'll show you guys the best method that our beaver rehabber friend taught us. All right, now I'm just gonna go ahead and clean off his little face. Okay,
oh,
easy.
beaver mommy. Dude, I want to be a beaver mommy.
Easy. I know.
Did you hear his little sound?
Later, I'll show you guys the best method that our beaver rehabber friend taught us.
All right, now I'm just gonna go ahead and clean off his little face. Okay, easy, easy. I know.
But all right, everybody, I'm putting him in here so he can take a poo-poo or a pee-pee. Look at this big, beautiful creature. All right, everybody, this little fella's doing a lot better now, and now he's making his cute little beaver noises, so we know he's healthy. Oh. And I've said this before, but it's okay to love on a baby beaver because they get that from their mother for the first 2 years of their life before they go out to be on their own. But all right, everybody, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this little fella up and put him to bed. Then I'm going straight to Walmart, and we're going to get a setup for him for the house. He's not going to be able to be in here because we got too many other little creatures. We can't have him inside with the kitty. I'm going to have to eat the kid. All right, everybody, it's a lot later in the evening, and I'm still giving this guy his milk replacer. Almost done. All right, everybody, I just fed this little fella at his feeding station. Now I'm going to go ahead and drop him in here in the wall. Here, this little fella can go to the bathroom, and he can leave here whenever he wants. And obviously, if he wants to, he can just go ahead and climb right out through there, because I cut a little hole in it. But this little guy can come in here and pee and poop whenever he wants. He can get dry right here. I put some cord grass plus all of their diet. And obviously here, he can drink and pee and poop whenever he wants. He's relatively close to me, so if I hear him crying or whimpering or being cringe, I can come over and give him some
or being cringe.
Because this is a baby, you guys. And these guys stay with their mothers for the first 2 years of their lives. So obviously if this little guy is crying or needs to get warm or needs to get dry, I can just come over here and help. But all right, everybody, this boy had plenty of food and water. He's got his little stuffed animal, his hide, all of his water, infinite food for him to start learning to wean on, and lots of little towels in here. Oh, he just went into his little pool by himself. And this was a month ago, and even now,
he's splish-splashed in his little bath, bro.
A month later, this pond is still full, and we've been getting tons of flooding here in Waco. And if you guys remember, this was always the first pond to dry up. And now this goose is finally friendly enough to eat in front of me. Wow, look at that, you guys. She's friendly now. All right, everybody, this beaver's long journey to rehabilitation is finally almost done.
He's a real beaver now.
We're going to take him right up to the beaver rehabber up north, where they do an amazing job of these older beavers, and hopefully we can get some tips on how to take care of these younger ones we have.
But wait, is this...
Before we give this little man away, I'm going to check out his wound one last time. Look at that. No scars at all. All Things Wild did an amazing job of taking care of this little guy. If you guys want to go ahead and support them, we have a link for them in the description. And the closest specialized beaver rehabber is 2 hours away. So I packed this bad boy up with some food, but I'm going to let this guy swim one last time on the pond before we go. But it's a beautiful overcast day at the Urban Rescue Branch, and Homelander somehow jumped over that fence. So now
Homelander?
Homelander lives in here with these little creatures. Also, the plants I put in here are actually taking root, so I might plant some more in there. Now that the water's nice and clear here, we don't really have any domestic mammals in the pond. I'm gonna go ahead and fence off the cappies so they don't bother this little fella for his last swim here. Garbanzo Beans is being a horrible person, per usual. And the cappies are hanging out way back there, so I'm gonna go ahead and lock them in there. We planted these nice pickerel plants that the rehabbers from East Texas gave me, and they're all actually thriving. Look at that, you guys. Those are the drum that we caught in the last couple videos. Big, beautiful fish that now live here comfortably in this pond. But there he is, everybody, enjoying our nice, beautiful pond here that Greg Wittstock, the pond guy, and Aquascape gave us. But look at this precious little boy enjoying his little pond. For some reason, he always loved hanging out by this log. And with a little bit of work, we should be able to fence this all off and use this for those little baby beavers as they learn to swim and grow up. Lord willing, those little creatures survive. And that little one was in critical condition, but because we gave him dextrose and a lot of other things, he's doing very well now. And this is the little guy a month later at my mentor's facility. You can see the size comparison of these two fellas pretty well here. It's good that they have each other. I will say, you guys, because this one is so small, there is a concern that he may not have gotten his colostrum and therefore won't be able to digest wood, which will be a problem later on. But this should be an excellent place for those precious little beavers to learn how to grow up. And a great place.
He's got to be able to digest wood, though.
Place for this little fella to eat all my umbrella grass. Get out of here, Garbanzo Beans. This boy just doesn't know when to quit. Look at that beautiful beaver swimming around in this crystal clear water. The best thing is the woman that we're bringing this beaver to actually has a much bigger pond than this, with other beavers that are about his age. That's why we aren't going to keep this little guy around here, even though it would be beneficial for him to teach those little guys how to be beavers. I think this little guy is going to be A-okay in the wild. But I'm going to go ahead and grab him, bring him up to Furry Friends, I think it's called. But that sure is a happy little beaver. Trying to convince this little fella to let me catch him. But oh, look at that gar, you guys. Wow. But all right, everybody, this little guy is sleeping. You can see his little tail. But I just gave him some willow branches and this little tree.
Okay, so it wasn't a jump ahead. It wasn't a jump ahead. That wasn't the baby grown up.
Treat if you don't like this video. All right, everybody, after only 2 hours, I'm almost at this beaver sanctuary. Really cool to work with them, and that way we don't have to drive 2 hours every time we get a dang beaver. Average Texas homestead. Sure is nice to be a Texan. Where did you get the tub at?
This got donated from the Dallas Zoo.
That's really cool. No matter how much water you give these beavers, it's always going to turn brown from their poo, so it's great to be able to flush it out. That's why this drain is here specifically for easy water changes on a regular basis. We also had one of the nicest pre-release raccoon enclosures that I've ever seen. This could also be for ringtails, possums, and a lot of other species, but I took a video so we could copy it. She also had one of the most natural looking pre-release enclosures for fawns that I've ever seen. And this is really cool. This is a pre-release enclosure.
But that's the beaver hole?
For yearling beavers. And bear in mind, the purpose of this enclosure is to simulate the environment for a yearling beaver so they can go back to the wild. And the beavers that are in here didn't even let us look at them, which means that Pilar is doing an amazing job of rehabbing them.
They swim and play, drag them out.
And because they regularly have to drain the water, she said she strongly recommends we use 6 or 8-inch pipe for our setup. They also have a sanctuary for little mini horses that people don't want anymore, like this little creature.
Who wouldn't want a mini horse, dude?
And there's also a bunch of little mini donkeys here frolicking around too. They have over 100 acres here with a couple
This video's from 2 years ago. Wait, he's more jacked than this? He seems pretty jacked.
Some of the beavers will get released. And the footage I took doesn't do it much justice, but these beavers basically created 2 other lakes down the hill from here by draining this main lake. This is the only species that has the ability to just completely change and mold.
Bro, beavers don't give a fuck.
Go straight down, you can see where they're constantly moving back and forth. That's so cool. So it used to be in here, and then they built their own lodge right here. Even the beavers on her property act like beavers in the wild. This is what their yearling setup looks like from the outside, and I was thinking we could maybe tweak the marsh bird enclosure to look like this. This is Pablo, but bigger. And now he finally has a friend. Oh, they're friends already. And then she gave me a ton of great advice on how to raise the babies. But okay, guys, it's a month in the future now. This little guy still poops in my bathtub. The other little baby is still at my mentor's place. Is this big ounce? We just keep getting floods here in Waco, Texas. I'm getting a lot more animals. I have 2 baby vultures in my garage, like 60 to 80 possums that I still need to release. Pumpkins have completely taken over our quarantine enclosure. And the office, which is now nice and clean, still has a bunch of squirrels, possums, doves, and other creatures in here. And these precious baby foxes.
Oh, dude, I want a baby fox. What the fuck?
Finally moved into this larger
Dude, everybody has a baby fox except for me.
enclosure. This one does not like me one bit. Plus, we have an infinite supply of owls and hawks, and it just never stops here. But I love you guys. I appreciate you. Thanks so much for watching these videos. I'm gonna try really hard to edit all the footage I have in my camera roll over the last month to make some videos for you guys. But I like giving you guys updates of what's happening in real time here at the ranch. But I love you. I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next video. Oh, I almost forgot to tell you.
Wait, whoops. I gotta see how jacked he is now.
To show you guys how to catch and cook an eagle. Skip it up. Go ahead and take him to get an x-ray. Fortnite!
He do be looking more
nice
jacked.
Full belly. This little fella
armadillo?
Woke up. Oh, what the Sigma? These funny little noises. Good morning, Gort. Oh. This is our nation's bird. Good.
All right, we'll catch up more on National Geographic with the Urban Rescue Ranch on Wednesday. Alrighty, boys. I'm gonna go lay my little headache down on the couch. Perfect grilled cheese over a forest stream. Now that sounds incredible. A blue cheese grilled cheese? What the fuck? No way, bro. Gordon Ramsay could literally never. This is not a real thing. That's a frog. Get the fuck out of here, bro. We gotta get off the internet. We got to get off the internet, boys. All right, boys. We learned a lot about beavers today. A whole lot. You guys think you could find the beaver now? Now that you've learned so much? I hope so. I hope this was helpful. I'ma feel better by the morning, I know it. Yeah, I think just sitting in the heat a little bit today maybe just kind of made me gradually start to feel a little more like shit as the day progressed. I feel actually better now, but I'm pretty sleepy. So it's time for bed. Let's breathe in. Your dad never taught you that about beavers? You're welcome. Breathe out. And to breathe in. And out. Paul, don't drone strike the beavers. Paul couldn't find the beaver if his life depended on it. Here we go. The Great Beaver Lodge. Close your eyes or soften your gaze. And take a slow breath in. And let it out gently. Imagine yourself floating through the cosmos, past the stars, past the moon, past the weird billionaire data centers, until finally you arrive at a peaceful glowing river in deep space. And there, working tirelessly beneath the starlight, are the cosmic beavers. Tiny engineers of the universe, never panicking, never rushing, just carrying sticks, shaping rivers, building together. The river tries to rush too fast, but the beavers smile knowingly, and they gently reshape the current until the water slows, becoming peaceful again. Beavers are the ultimate peacemakers, bro. Take another breath in. And imagine your stressful thoughts floating downstream. The cosmic beavers collect them one by one, adding them into the great universal lodge, transforming chaos into shelter. And soon, all the Knitwitches are gathered together beside the glowing river, watching the stars reflect on the water, safe inside the great beaver lodge of the cosmos. Now one more slow breath in. And out. Like the beavers, we keep building. Little by little, day by day, stick by stick. Not perfect, just together. And when you're ready, come back slowly. Knit the light, build the lodge. Yo, we're going to jail for that shit, bro. Beavers forever, Beavers united. Let's do Savannah's song. Yo, Nancy, please.
Get back, Miss Guthrie. Took America's grandma. It's about to get ugly. Everyone thought she'd come
Yeah,
home.
Paul,
She
we're
ran
meeting
out of
tomorrow,
space.
not
Now
Wednesday.
my blood dropped. She went out broke.
Show up and ruin our day tomorrow.
Come home. Get back, Miss Guthrie. Took America's
Wednesday we're
grandma.
off
It's
though.
about to
I'm
get ugly.
just for Paul. This message is just for Paul. Wednesday we're off, but tomorrow we're on. Just kidding, boys. I'm not trying to confuse you. From your mommy.
just somebody
on some Here Comes Johnny.
Never wake up from the coma.
No.
That's how they deal with the commies.
Yeah.
Casinos stealing cards, stealing hearts from zombies. Money
isn't real.
There was no stopping anarchy. Fucking
no.
the leg. It'll only
cost you an army.
Storm chasers don't watch for warning. We follow the storm like everything's normal. Top of the morning, never fought in a war, but fought for control of every thought that's forming an unstoppable force. That's getting used to this.
Is what available now? The song?
Confused how they're still losing a profit. I know who your boss is. Brian
Yes. Where's Nancy Guthrie? Bang.
Y'all figure skating during some pond hockey as it's wearing thin. Preposterous. Tanya Harding went too soft when she lost her shit. But I guess it's anything to get Nancy to care again.
Yep. Beavers, 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 beavers rule the world.
Nancy, come home.
Give back, Miss Guthrie.
Took America's grandma.
It's about to get ugly.
Everyone thought she'd come home. She ran out of space time. I saw the blood drop. She went out growing up. Gang songs. Nancy, come home. Give back, Miss Guthrie.
This one's for you, Nance.
America's grandma. It's about to
We
get
love you, girl.
Everyone thought she'd come home.
Savannah, you're cooked. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, Savannah Guthrie, where's your wholesome mommy go? I know you know we know this whole kidnapping is for
show.
I've been getting swole, raising my chi to the 5th dimension.
Yeah.
And me and Nance, we moving upstate.
About to be living off my pension.
Make a quick stop to Quantico, pick up Charlie, then we roll up to Casa de Wysopal to fertilize his mind with this U-Haul. Start calling me Sid, please. I'm about to go on a spree.
Just me and my girl Nance and my best friend Charlie.
Three's company too high, 5 grams,
just 5.
Saw God in the wood, no lie. She sent us back to the tribe like, yo, Savannah
Beaver
Guthrie,
slap.
what the fuck is you doing? After a 2-month vision quest, you still putting back into it while we silly sibing vibing. You on TV, fake lying and crying, but the truth gonna come out soon.
And Hoda just can't save you.
She did it with the FBI, bent over and spewed their lies, twerked out and swallowed her pride.
This song rules, dude. We killed this song,
dude,
boys.
You really think the FBI couldn't find her fucking mom if they wanted to? I'm right? Like, come on, man. They're all in cahoots together.
All right, dude.
They're so fucking dumb.
Dumb.
They think that we're never, ever gonna figure this out, but Savannah,
we know.
We know. We know, you know, we know. Good night.
Good night, Nancy. Night, boys. We'll see you Wednesday. Have a good evening. We didn't even talk about food that much today. Shit. But learning about beavers was pretty fun. It's coming, 9/11. Oh, it's 9/11 in the middle of the country. Happy 9/11, boys. My bonger's ripped, but I'll hit the ash. All right, that's cashed. And so am I. Adios, amigo.